Hey, what's happening, folks? This is Casey Jewett here.
Hello, I'm Brandon Watson.
I've been in the brewing industry for about 6 years now. I've worked for Megaton, Ingenious Brewing Company.
I've been in the craft industry for the last 3 years. I started at Backview and I've been with Megaton as the sales manager for the last year and a half.
I've been a sales rep for Deca Beer Co. for about a year now, and I also run their social media accounts.
I'm the creator of a local Houston-made drinking card game called F Your Liver. Welcome to the Beer Someone podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beer Someone. We are at No Label. I got Casey right here.
Hello.
Yeah, is that what you? Okay. And an awesome guest, Tom. Everybody knows Tom, the king of No Label.
Yeah.
I just said that. I'm sorry. You're the cowboy of No Label.
Court jester.
Court jester.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing good, guys. I'm really admiring. Listen, this is some amazing hair over here. You should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you. It's been wafting in the wind all day
I
today.
feel
It's something I admire.
I feel like it's really appropriate for Easter weekends.
It is. I'm very Eastery today.
It's very Jesus quality going on here.
It's because I'm hung like this. That's what they say anyway.
And the second time you used that joke on this podcast.
Damn it. I was just, as soon as I put it out, I was like, I think I've already used that joke.
Yeah.
It's the only joke I have, so.
I am so excited to be here. I really am. When we started the podcast, we talked about a couple people we really wanted to talk to, and you were at the top of that list. And I reached out, and you just said yes. And it was like, oh, I don't even know who to reach for now.
Yeah.
Because and I say that I know you don't like it when people.
Well, we've had some great people on. Sylvia, Darnell.
No, all great people, and
had,
I admire all those people, and that's why I wanted to have each one of those people on the podcast. But from a marketing and gimmick perspective, I feel like no one does it better in Houston.
I am a gimmick.
Walking, talking gimmick.
Yeah. Have you seen the hat?
I noticed the hat right away. So you don't normally wear that though, right? Or is it you rock that kind of hat?
It depends. It depends how the day goes. You know,
Yeah.
there's a whole season where I'll wear suits.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
for the sake of wearing suits.
I like wearing suits sometimes.
Like, I have a nice philosophy on, so I'm not really hungover, thus I'm pretty comfortable wearing, but if I am hungover, I like to, if you're hungover, people say you look like shit, right? So I'll be like, all right, time to dress, I'll put on some jeans, put on, if I'm really hungover, put on a suit. If I'm on a 3-day bender, because someone will always be like, hey, why
Do
are
you
you dressed
find
up?
yourself
why
in a suit often then?
More often than you think. But someone will always they'll go past the fact that you have a hangover or you look like garbage. I'll be like,
You look nice today.
Hey, what's going on? What's the special occasion? I was like, all these fools don't notice my baggy dark eyes.
Yeah. I got shit faced last night. That's what
like,
happened.
It's like I feel like a beached whale, but I look great.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. No, I mean, it's kind of, we get into these characters doing this kind of, in this industry, we do. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're a bit of
You are a big character. Yeah, and you're kind of everywhere all the time. You were in Pflugerville last week?
Wild West Brewfest, Pflugerville edition.
Pflugerville, sorry.
Yeah, so Wild West Brewfest, homegrown, Katy, Texas Beer Festival, maybe probably the largest in Houston, next to Brewsology. Mm-hmm. But they've been going for 10 years. They recently expanded to Pflugerville, and so
At the other Typhoon, Texas.
At the other Typhoon, Texas, and so we're kind of partnered with them since their home base of organizing everything is more or less here. We go where they go, and they have bigger, more grandiose plans. It kind of works well for us. One, it's an excuse to hang out with craft beer people. And last weekend, I was like 3 buttons down, walk around, flip.
Oh, I saw you, and you social media
this cowboy
everything.
hat. I was like. People were like, Tom, like, you're looking good today. I was like, I'm barely in this market. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's the best.
He's like, I got no one to kiss up to.
Right,
like,
yeah, he's there.
Like, I could give you all the free beer tokens. You're probably not even going to get up to No Label.
But
like,
it's the gesture that people love it.
Yeah, well, I love seeing those guys at, like, those breweries in Austin because,
Yeah, you went on a little brewery tour that day as well, or the next day.
Yeah, well, I try.
Yeah.
I think whenever I go almost anywhere, even if I'm going to somewhere in a town, usually I'm like, let me me put a case of beer in my car just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Because-
get it. I'm getting in that mindset as well.
It's just a great like. So you come in, you drop off like a variety 6-pack and a sticker or something. It doesn't take much.
No.
Immediately, it's like, oh, you're in the industry. I'm in the industry.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, and then.
Yeah, no, that's the key of the game. If you're in the industry, that's good to know. I mean, most people already do. You take care of your people, man. And like I've seen people show up to when I worked at Ingenious, people would show up with either a 6-pack, even one can of beer. And next thing you know, we're shotgunning in the back. You know, it's like that's kind of vibe.
It's the best. Those a couple years ago, I'm hoping to do it again. A couple years ago, I went to CBC. It was in Nashville, and I was like, I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive there. I'm gonna take like 2-3 days and I'm gonna go like 4 or 5 hours.
You
stop.
just stopped at breweries along
I stopped
the
at
way.
breweries, and like I was like, I want to stay in Memphis, or I was staying in Little Rock, and I want to stay in Memphis, and I put like 8 cases of beer in my car. No cases when I got back home, but I was at this.
You're a good follow, by the way. You document all the stuff on social media. All these places you go, you
part of
always
the
tag
character.
them.
Yeah.
But it's a good practice, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's a great practice.
but there's Soul and Spirits in Memphis. I had this great time. Like, came in and dropped off like some 6-packs. And they're like, oh, you're on the way to CBC. And it's like, yeah. But there was a couple other breweries that were also on that path. And immediately it was like, hey, you guys want to? It's like, you guys want to drink some beers on the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we are, on top of this. Like this renovated record store turned brewery,
That's cool.
Like
What's it called?
Watching the Soul and Spirit Brewing.
Okay.
Just watching the sunset of Memphis. So it was
That's
amazing.
beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, and but it's just I don't know, and such a fanboy of thing every time we walk into a brewery, right? It's like I do a lot of
You still get
omelet.
excited every single time.
Well, you're always like a tourist, and you're always like, "Ah, man, we suck at this. We
Yeah.
we need to do that."
Right, right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do that too when I go to breweries. I'm like, oh man, that's a great idea, or that event's super cool. I never thought about doing a paper airplane throwing contest or
Who
whatever.
just
you
did
know?
one of those? I saw that somewhere.
I know Craft Beer Cellar's done it before. Celestial did one. They did a big one though. It was like a big. You had to it took a team to build this sort of paper airplane. But it was a really cool event, and I was like, that's really cool. Not
Where
a
was
lot
this?
of at Celestial in Dallas is where I
Nice.
first saw it, and I was like, that's a cool idea. Not a lot of overhead to get that event going, and it seems like a fun thing to do. And it's unique. It's not something that everybody does.
You know, Tom's pretty unique on a lot of events. I'm going to circle it back to No Label because that's where we're at. By the way, I just want to say that I'm drinking, what is it, the party at the Nakatomi Plaza, right?
Yeah, party Nakatomi.
I had this last time. You know I'm a huge Die Hard fan.
Yeah.
You are as well. We were both watching it on Christmas Eve, and you messaged me. You're like, I'm watching it too.
I have to. It's like kind of a rite of passage. But every year we have a different style. So this is a golden stout. This was
There's some coffee in here too, right?
This is yes.
Okay, I can smell it.
No, it's good. Try it.
Yeah, I can smell it.
It's,
all.
the Carl edition.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering. I thought you had a cup of coffee.
Oh no,
on the
I'm
table.
obsessed with this beer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's still on tap, man. I got up here and I saw it. I was like, yes.
Every year we do a different variation, and so far we name it after like a side character, like Argyle or Carl or.
What are you drinking on, Casey? Just so.
The German pills. It's the Cane. What's a Cane?
Cane Island Crisp.
Cane Island Crisp.
Yeah.
Super good, super crispy, which is exactly what I was looking for. It was either that or the Taco
Boy. Did I say Taco Boy? Taco Season.
Taco Season. Yeah. And
Taco Boy,
Yeah.
Cali Boy, Taco Susan.
Yeah.
I see where he got it.
So it's all blending together.
Yeah. No, I haven't tried that one yet.
I've
I'm
had
letting
some
it warm
nights
up.
blend together when I'm here at No Label. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
But you have some fun events, is what I was going to say. You got that Harry Potter event y'all just did yesterday. You're doing that like every 2 months, like a different movie?
Yeah, so it seemed like a layup in terms of like there is this Harry Potter fan base.
Yeah.
It's just like Star Wars ish in nature.
Right.
And Chris Hernandez, who's worked with
Who's awesome.
every brewery almost in Houston at this point. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's making the
He
rounds.
made the shirt I'm
Yeah.
wearing.
he's making.
I see his
Avenue.
name back there on some of the artwork.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
all his.
Yeah.
And yes, so
Yeah.
and he owes me one more. The,
Yeah.
but he's great, but like it was just like, oh, this is a good layup to do a Harry Potter. It's very easy to show a movie, and then he can do a wizarding. Or it's very easy to have a costume contest. It's like these things are very easy things to do.
Yeah.
And he creates a piece of Harry Potter inspired art that blends with the brewery. That's and so that's a very small investment on our part.
Right.
We put in some merch, which people inevitably will buy. The Harry Potter entries, it's like mass market appeal.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But it's
How was last night? How was the event? Did it go well?
It was great. Chris sold out.
Yeah,
it was a good Thursday for us. I mean, there was a lot of factors involved. We're also
people would show up dressed up and stuff.
Kids showed up dressed up, and that stuff was fun.
cool.
It was also the start to Good Friday weekend.
Yeah,
Easter
yeah.
weekend.
So everybody's going out.
So-
Yeah, I know Urban South. When Urban South was in Houston, they did a Harry Potter event.
I was there
a couple summers ago. They had to change the name of the event and all this stuff because they got a C&D before the event even happened.
You have Jesus' birthday. I have Harry Potter's birthday.
Really? No shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
July 31st.
Oh, we're so magical.
Yeah, we actually have some of Urban South's decorations. From
Oh yeah.
Really? That's
They were staying in like George's garage or something, and he came by. He was like, "Oh, you want
Yeah.
to? Like, you need this like for your stuff?"
no,
And
they
it's
did
like,
it up for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exact. I mean, they went like
Deep.
George did. Like
George is amazing.
like yeah, when when I was seeing like the parties like he would do at Urban South, I mean even when he was at like Wild West Brew Fest and the way he would set up his beer booths, and it's like this is extra. This is like
He's got his own style.
yeah, and it was like some of the stuff was like he had God, what was it? He had like a bubble blow machine. It was like shooting out bubbles like from their booth, and I was like, this is a great easy gimmick because everyone wants to take pictures next to bubbles, and all you did was you just you got a little machine from Amazon and you just put it in the solution in the bubble mix, and I was like. Here I am trying to like give away like, hey, you want this? You want this?
Want a
this,
sticker?
that? Are we do a raffle? Like, let's just see us dance. I'm like, this asshole's coming out here and solving the world's problems. Everyone's taking pictures because he's did an $80 solution.
Yeah. No, it's a smart idea.
Yeah.
I've seen people do tabletop
it's great.
games. You know, little tabletop games. It's all sorts of little stuff that you can do to kind of.
I always try to do some kind of gimmicks with F Your Liver. We do like a wheel that you could spin. There'd be prizes. We used to give away F Your Livers, but then people kept winning them over and over again. So yeah, we took them off.
That's awesome.
But
Like, okay.
we did a beer pong one once where it was like you had to make a cup, and if you made a cup, you got something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like a good gimmick. You are, like we were talking about earlier, you were the king of gimmicks.
I mean, I think the great thing about when you go to beer festivals, you see what everyone else is kind of doing. And like, I'm sitting here like, guys, we're just pouring beers like idiots, giving away stickers. These guys are playing. They have like a casino going on.
So to your point, you're not accepting maybe not the title of genius, but you pay attention to what other people are doing, which is kind of what I like to do too. I like to see what other people are doing, and then you see what works and what doesn't work. When I was at Ingenious, we did so many events because of our location to try to draw people out, and I was throwing shit at a wall, and I did a couple events that were just like duds. I did like an under the sea thing, like I did this whole I got bubbles, and I even had a girl that was supposed to come out and be a mermaid. She canceled on me the day of, and I was like, oh man, you were the reason everybody's gonna come. And we did this whole it was like around the time the mermaid came out, the new mermaid, the live action. And so I was trying to do this thing, and it was just such a dud of an event. But then turned around and did, you just find things that work. Harry Potter is definitely something that always works.
By the way, I'm not saying there needs to be a gimmick or an event going on to come here to No Label. No Label has this amazing brewery. It has great beer, by the way, award-winning beers.
But everybody knows in this industry, everybody knows that the breweries have sort of become event spaces, and that's something that we
were talking a lot about that last time with Sylvia.
You know as well, like you can't just be like, we're open, we're selling beer, that's it. Well, we may have a band.
You always have multiple food trucks here available.
Multiple food
all
trucks,
these
vendors. You know, we have at least four bands a week.
Playground for the kids.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of like it's a little bit of a machine at this point. We're kind of used to we know we're gonna have Monday through Thursday. There's one food truck, one vendor. It's like we have second beer free for different industries specials on certain days. Like we have our bingo nights, we have our run clubs. We typically we try to do something like on Thursdays, like special events, or we'll have live music if the weather permits. Fridays, it's full band, like what's happening right now. It's 4 food trucks, 3 vendors. On Saturdays, typically we have a market, which brings in kind of their own vendors on top of what we have layered in.
You always have vendors here, though. Like it doesn't.
Always.
It could be any day of the week. There's vendors
But
here.
then it's like after, and then we're in crawfish season, so we always have crawfish. We partner with Rockin' Cajun on that one. Jared and Z, good friends of mine, actually lived near my house, and occasionally I'm calling them in the morning. I'm like, hey, can you take out my dog, please?
Yeah, he's cool.
The,
He even has Louisiana accent and everything.
he's crazy Cajun.
Yeah.
He's crazy. You get him a few beers in, and you're gonna have a fun time.
Yeah.
But it's so layered. I mean, our taproom team, they.
You're getting bigger too. You just bought some more space out here, right? Or
Well, we bought the property.
Okay.
We bought the property, so we are putting in AC in the tap room.
Oh wow.
That the installation's going in next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday installation. The week after AC units, and then we're.
Hell yeah.
It's amazing. We've been talking about this as long as. So I've been in an ownership position with No Label for 8 years now.
Wow.
Which is wild.
For those that don't know, they've been open for 15 years this year.
15 in November.
15 in November. Okay.
15 in November.
Got it.
And so a little over 10 years ago, I started working with these guys. I used to work with a bunch of breweries in town, doing photo, video, social media for hire, like independent contractor. And so I started working with the guys here, and then it just so happened they gave. They extended an opportunity to become an investor. And I was like, well, I really don't have any money, but I have a friend that does. And my friend was like, all right, we'll go in, but you're coming with me. And I was like, of course. That's why I extended you. Yes. And so we came in, and that was a little over 8 years ago. And then a year after that, he just bought the rest of the company.
Yeah. Awesome.
Which is great. It was just in time for COVID. We spent about a year getting all right, we're going to figure out what's going on in the world. And then, it just like, it's been a wild, it's 8 years, like, it's just like, because I think like right when we kind of took over, or we're getting in, it was like Harvey hit, and then like another year and a half, it's like COVID, and then it's like freezes, and just like, and before you know it, you're like, what's going on in my face? like, hey, where did your kids come from, man? It's
Right,
like,
yeah,
it's
dude.
like, I got myself a real life.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And
All these disasters, and we're just getting older. Yeah.
yeah, you got to figure out somehow in the in-between to get like your personal life, you know?
Yeah, your
No,
life-work
it's a
balance.
great story, though. I haven't heard that. I heard a version of that story, but the way you just told it, like, you came in here, you started doing marketing for this place, and that's a little. Me and Casey do a lot of marketing for Deca and Megaton, and you built it up, and you were like, you know what, I could just do this all the time.
Yeah, a version of that. Yeah.
And you love it.
I love it most of the time. Yes, I think like all of us, I think we go through a case of like, oh, I need to get to another brewery. I'm sure this is like very like, so years ago when I was doing Drinking Pages with John Denman, when it was the most therapeutic thing. I mean, there was a little burnout there because we were putting out a show every week, but it was very
week.
It was very therapeutic because we got to go to a new. There was a time we had a residency at House of Blues, and I hated that because I was like, it was very therapeutic when we visited breweries.
Yeah.
Because when we visit a brewery every week, it's like, oh, this is why I'm doing this. Oh,
Right.
it reminds me. This is the vibe. These are the people. Wherever you go, the brewery people are brewery people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, it's just that culture, that community, and yeah, there is definitely a. I was talking to the guys over at Brash not so long ago about how places have become like venues, but then it's like shit. How do like I need to still be that because clearly that's where the money is, you know.
Right.
But it's like you gotta figure out a way to put a little bit more of a spotlight back onto the beer. I feel like beer's kind of getting lost.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, and you don't want to go so far in the weeds that like, do we just become a bar?
Right.
Yeah.
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 So
There's definitely got to be a line that's drawn. Yeah. For
Speaking
sure.
of bars, you have a piece of a lot of bars here in Houston, don't you?
Yeah.
I know Lazy Oak, Creekwood.
Lazy Oaks, Spirit Garden, in Spring, Creekwood Grill, and Pio's Ice House in Cypress. They're on the same property. So
Yeah, they're right next to each other.
And then Lulu's Bodega in the Heights, which is run by the Blood Brothers, who we've been partners with over at Blood Brothers in Bel Air and in Vegas and in Dynamo for 8 years now, too.
Yeah.
It was right after we came in here. And we also have a sauce and rub company. If anyone's interested, we sell sauces and rubs.
And you also have a plumbing company, right?
This is the one thing I don't own a piece on. This is the thing that also makes the legitimate money. That's my business partner, Garrett Hart, my oldest friend, oldest from childhood. I work for the construction company, and we do multifamily new construction. We operate 3 states, or not 3 states. We operate in Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, and Houston. Build apartments, and it's good. But now, since we bought the property, our offices are in Sugar Land. We're actually moving the office to the No Label campus.
Oh, really?
That's
gonna be fun for the people at the old offices.
Right, yeah.
It's gonna be fun for. Well, a lot of the company's already over here, anyways. A lot of the guys are over here, like fixing the shit, and we have community happy hours here.
Okay.
That's what I was telling him on the way here. I was like, being in plumbing, I bet that's very helpful towards brewery.
We were talking about it.
Yeah.
It does actually. I need to talk to Val, since he has some air curtains. Part of this AC situation, he has some air curtains that we bought one from him, and I was like, I need to reach out to Val, see if he wants to give us the rest of them. And he's like, maybe he'll trade for some plumbing services because eventually he'll need them.
Plumbing is expensive, man. It's. I mean, I get it, but it's. I've called a plumber for something, but before and been like, damn, I get it, but shit, it's expensive. So that could work out.
It'll be good to have everything in one place. I don't know. This is it's weird because this is the shit that Garrett and I would talk about for back when we were kids. We wanted to there was this Exxon station that was near where I grew up, and I would talk to Garrett, a business partner, and it was just but this is when we were 10. It's like, hey, buy that, buy it, and we turned it into a sandwich shop. And then as the years went on, we turned into a hookah place, and then years go on, we turned into a bar.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, but it was always that seed of trying to do something.
Yeah.
It was so I didn't grow up in much money. Garrett did. He's in a 3rd generation kind of construction company. And I would always kind of bust his balls. I'm like, what's the point of money if you don't use it? He was like, I want to go to school and get an MBA. I was like, you are so dumb. If I had what you had,
right? Yeah.
I mean, it all worked out. But it's nice. That friendship in particular it's nice getting in arguments with someone, and Garrett will be like, "That happened 25 years ago. Get over it. She doesn't love you anymore." I was like, ah.
That's awesome.
I have my own little Garrett too. His name's Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my good friend that he's helped us out a couple times.
Yeah, he's been very helpful. Yeah.
And he's the guy that I started F Your Liver with. So,
okay.
So you talk about Garrett reminds me of my friend Chris. The way you talk about him.
It's good long relationships are priceless, really.
Yeah.
So especially the older you get, you're like, oh man.
So plumbing was something you got into,
Well, so I was freelancing. I freelanced for many years. I worked for St. Arnold, Buffalo Bayou, Fort Bend, here. But then those are the breweries. But then I worked for law firms and just really whoever was hiring. But it was through I used to run a music festival. I used to operate out in a co-working space in downtown, and that had this open area in the back. And this guy who had started the co-working space, he was like, "Oh, it's really he's like, space is something." He's like, "Do whatever you want." I was like, "I need to build up my reel." of like video content, and he had connections to music, and so he would bring in musicians for me to film, and then it's all of a sudden people started showing up, and then all of a sudden this music thing started happening.
Yeah, this ball started rolling.
Well, they got bigger. Then they got sponsorships, and then like I was like, oh no, this thing's becoming work. But along the way, this is back in like 2008. Someone handed me a beer one day, and it was Divine Reserve 9 from St. Arnold, and I had craft beer ish. I had like Shiner or something like
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I
Fat
had
Tire.
beer that was technically craft
I
beer,
think
but
Shiner was probably my first official craft beer.
like technically it's craft, craft
Yeah,
beer,
right.
but like
When I was
Yeah.
drinking it was.
Yeah.
Macro level, yeah.
it's like, well, it wasn't, it is again.
I don't know. I don't know.
They're independently owned though. That's the I guess what we're getting at. But they're
Yeah.
still a giant brewery, yeah.
I like Shiner. I went to Shiner a couple.
Yeah, no, it's
years
I mean,
great.
it's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had one in a minute. I imagine it's still great.
Yeah.
But I remember someone they handed me a Divine Reserve 9, and I like popped that top from St. Arnold, and like it was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
What? And I was just like, I was like the flavors and the thing. Also, it's probably the most alcoholic thing I've ever had at that point.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I remember seeking them out, being like, oh, I need to work with these guys.
Yeah, me too.
And someone told me, like, Tom, it will never work with you. I was like, oh, rude. And then, sure enough, I mean, I bombarded them with emails.
So you took that as a challenge.
Something like that. I mean, I really it was like fanboying. I mean, I was in my 20s, and I was fanboying hard on like just wanting to.
You never, like I'm saying, you've never let people tell you can't do something. You find a way.
I mean, if someone tells me I can't do something, and I think to myself, yeah, you're probably right. And,
You can listen to reason. Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I don't like your tone, but you are correct. It's like,
Yeah.
but I remember I sent Brock some emails, I was like kind of begging him to come in there. Eventually, I got in there by just doing, like I was like, I will shoot for free, like just let me shoot this thing and that thing and that thing, and I did that for a few months, and then eventually
Just events or
just for like a beer release, like
Okay.
which there weren't that many back then.
Right.
They had their Icon series.
but that's what you were known. That's what you already had experience with was doing events, like some sort of.
I done events and interviews and I mean just an assortment of things. And this is right around this is 2008. This is back when YouTube was starting to launch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a huge problem shooting video because people were like, where are we doing this for? Like a commercial? And I was like, it's like, oh, you put it on the internet, and because
And there's like-
YouTube was rising.
In 2008, you saw YouTube and you're like, I could do something with this.
It felt like an avenue to sell. Well, it was like put it on their website, and then Facebook was. The boom is starting
Beginning
to
of
happen.
Facebook, yeah.
Because Facebook is like, I think this is maybe a year or two off from when they finally
Went
released
full-
the college.
yeah.
Because it was locked to schools. And
Right.
Then they released it wide.
I think it was 2008,
And,
yeah.
and so this is right around that time. So I was kind of. So then I started to get more on the social media side because I was like, I want to do video and photo and video content, but it needs to make sense for the customers. So then I'm selling packages. Like I'll take care of all this shit for you or whatever. But the breweries were cool because the breweries were generally pretty savvy people, a lot of upstarts, a lot of creative-minded
I felt that
hipsters.
same
Yeah.
vibe.
Yep.
I felt that same vibe when I entered with F Your Liver. I was like, people just pulled me in. I had other breweries hit me up. Come over to hang out with us.
Yeah.
And no, it's a great industry, a great community.
They respect the hustle, like that type of mindset.
Because they were there before. They were there before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beer gardens are very accepting places.
Yeah.
Like people like generally pretty safe environments. I mean, conversations can be vulgar. I'm not saying that people don't get pissy or whatever, but like it's a very accepting place in terms of
Right.
like a lot
Yeah.
of the
People know they're
mentality.
bringing their kids to a brewery. They might hear the word "fuck" every once in a while. Yeah.
It's there's no prima donnas for the most part.
Right.
You know, 5 people like walk behind the building and come back 10 minutes later is a known.
Yeah, and it's like it's fine.
And if you don't know,
Yeah.
but St. Arnold, they eventually they gave me opportunity. It's like eventually they called me instead of me calling them, but I say, hey, we need to come in here. There's this bar in Dallas, and they want to have videos of our beers, and it was like, so we need to come in and shoot yada yada. And I was like, oh, and I started, and then within a year I transitioned to like, oh, a contractor.
Yeah.
Like actually like, and it felt good. And also, I mean, one, those relationships are just invaluable. But they helped me out whenever I needed a sponsorship or a connection, and I did a lot of so that concert series kept on going. That when I was so St. Arnold ended up sponsoring that concert series, and it became a title sponsor.
That's awesome.
Like with beer, and then at one point I was like, I need to get out of this concert series because it's becoming like work.
Yeah.
And I was telling the guys at St. Arnold, I was like, I think I can get a bunch of these artists to create an album where they play all on each other's tracks. Like, I would love to do a live album at the brewery, yada yada yada. But I have no money. and Lenny at St. Arnold was like, well, yeah, let's shoot at the brewery, and we'll charge people for tickets. Like, it's like, what's the budget? I'm like, here's the budget for the recording. Here's the artist will work for free. All this stuff. And he's like, all right, well, we'll we'll process everything for you. We'll give you a check. We'll cover it, and it'll be good. We won't make any money off it. We'll give you the space. We'll give you the beer. We'll give you the people and the time. I was like, what? And I was like, well, how can you be sure it's gonna sell out? And Lenny's like, okay. And then we did, and we recorded, and there's a live album that's been recorded at St. Arnold, and it's just great time. And then from there I got to work with, because I was working with St. Arnold, like Buffalo Bayou was calling me. They were starting up, and they were like, hey,
Old Buffalo Bayou, like olds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I came in there year 0.
Yeah.
Which was. It was an exciting time.
I liked Old Buffalo Bayou. Like,
they were doing
OG Buffalo Bayou?
I never liked their beers, just being honest. But I thought that they were doing a lot of cool shit that nobody else was doing. They were the first adjunct brewery that I knew of.
It was in a world where it was if in 2010, when if you flew into town, you would. If you were like breweries near me, it would be like, oh, you have St. Arnold, and then you have if you go 50 minutes north, you have Southern Star, and you go 40 minutes west, you have No Label. Like,
I remember there were 6 of them.
Yeah,
like 3. Okay.
Yeah, and well, we're the third oldest, and so that's 2010, and then shortly after us, you get the Carbach and you get the Buffalo Bayou, and that's when just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But it was an exciting time. I know Buff because it was like, I remember talking to Rasul, one of the founders of Buff, and early on, like, kind of an asinine thing to say. I'm stupid. I have a list of stupid things I've said, but this is on the list.
No way.
Where I was like, you idiot! You think another brewery outside of St. Arnold can exist in this town? You are so dumb.
That's awesome.
How many breweries are in town?
I can get that given the time, though.
I mean,
given the time
I was like, you are too.
Who the fuck you think you are?
There's already
awesome.
4 of them.
Dude, that's awesome. And then 2013 is they changed the laws. That's what really changed a lot of it. I think they changed how much you had to output a year, and that allowed a lot of people to say, okay, I can do that. I can manage that.
Well, so many breweries were existing in this kind of gray area where it was like you buy a pint glass, you get some tokens or something.
Yeah.
Like,
because they couldn't sell the beer. They had to give the beer away for free.
I was at 8th Wonder the other day, and they're going away from the token system.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were like one of the OGs to do that. And
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I like their bottle caps, too, because
I do like them. Yeah,
I thought it was kind
they're
of cool.
gone. No more.
Wow. I mean, it is trash. You know what I mean? It's just trash. I don't mean it like in a negative. I mean it like it's physically, literally trash. What are you going to do with those tokens? You're just going to keep making this shit, and it's just, why do that? You're just creating
Is
trash.
Vacuum still doing them?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're the last ones.
Yeah, they're doing the tokens.
I think Leaguer still does tokens.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
They don't have like 3 tokens in a glass for.
No. You just buy. They have a set price. You get a token.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Maybe they're kind of gaming on the fact that people also like lose tokens.
That's literally. See, I said the same thing. I was like, dude, how many times have I gone to Eighth Wonder, which was one of the first. It was one of the first breweries that I would visit quite often. Like whenever they first opened, I was there quite a bit. And I would buy the 3 tokens for 10. 3 for 10 at the time. Then they bumped it up to 12, and I don't know what it is now. But it was 3 for 10, and I was like, sign me up. And then I would use one or two, and then I would keep the other one. But I would lose them so many times, and I'm like,
Well, for everyone like losing tokens, there's the person that's by the door who's picking them up when someone's like, "It's your lucky day, son."
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, it is.
That happened to me the first time I came here. I won't call out the person who gave me the tokens, but I got handed some tokens, and I was like, fuck yeah, sweet. But we had had a really good time at an event together, and we held hands and, had our little moment together, so he had to pay it back.
I mean, we still use beer tokens, but it is not our main form of
I
currency.
think I have like a token or 2 from No Labels in the house.
Yeah, breweries still honor them, so that's the thing. For anybody that's listening, if you have tokens, they'll still get honored. I would think most of the time.
We have a token. At one point, we had a very distinct color-coded token system, where we had like black tokens, purple tokens, red tokens, blue tokens.
Yeah, Carbach did that too, I think.
It was like I mean, there was a method to the madness. It's like so when I'm checking numbers during the day or something, like a black token would be from sales, a blue token is like a tap room event or something in the tap room. A purple token was from me personally.
Oh wow!
It was like, so if I'm in the office or I'm nearby and I'm looking at, and all of a sudden 2 purple tokens ding or like 5 black tokens, like there's an accountant at the brewery.
See, but most people aren't thinking about stuff like that, and I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's just trying to make it easier, I guess.
No, I know, but simplifying it, making it easier. You're creating new systems. You're creating new ideas in reality. I want to comment, you do merch, I think, better than any brewery in Houston. I don't think anybody has as much merch as you do, and so much variety, so many different options.
Carbach's got more merch than we do.
I haven't been to Carbach in a while. I don't know. Yeah, they're not craft beer.
They got pockets for that, but I mean, y'all have. I can't think of another independently owned brewery in this town that has.
How many
as much
individual shirts and tin tackers do you have for sale? You don't know.
No, we have 19 tin tackers and like 23 shirts. Right now.
23 different shirts.
Y'all got any C&Ds for any of the stuff y'all do? Star Wars or Whataburger or any of the? No. Really?
Whataburger. We do one beer.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And the font's a little off, and the orange is a little off.
You got to change those little things, to stay away from it, yeah.
And
you guys are
you're
just
a big
good
art lover. You support local art. You,
yeah. Sometimes, I mean, percentage of that is Christopher Hernandez. But I love Faye Barber, who works in our tap room. She's an amazing artist.
But you're funding these murals. You have more murals than probably any brewery in Houston as well.
I would love more, but also it's definitely on the expense side of.
Yeah.
It's it can add up, and then we also still have bills, and it rains one weekend, and you're like, never mind.
Right. Yeah.
Never mind. The group trip's been canceled, guys.
Yeah, but no, I love the artwork. I love the can art and stuff like that. And we were
Great
talking about
can
that
art,
recently.
yeah.
It's like
you won a couple crushies for your artwork.
We have won, yes, a good amount of crushies, which has been great. Because I remember early on, the first year we submitted for crushies, didn't win anything, and it was just like, fuck, we suck. And then the second year was with it was a great, I would say kid, but he's definitely a man now. Joshua Alday, who's at Carback at this moment. He used to be at Beer Chronicle and does splash beer photography, but just amazing guy. He came over here for a year, probably the best timing. He came in here February 2020, and so when March 2020 hit and the lockdown happened, I was like, we're gonna work today because the only thing we could do is promote shit, and that's when we really started diving into merch and branding.
I love the merch. I love the branding.
I do too. Yeah, I really like all the stuff.
It was like during COVID, we kind of figured out I did, anyways, that you can only make so much beer at a certain given time. So it was like, oh, we only have these points of interest to entertain someone. It was like that drive-through line. It was like new beer release. It was like, and then it's like, what else we got? We got nothing, Tom, because beer's in the tank for this long, and yada yada.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
But then it was like, oh, but you know what? You can make faster than that. You can make a COVID Easter bunny, or make fun of something, or you can create these different levels of kind of branding to bring people to the tap room. And
right.
It was kind of like, I was like, oh, this is good, because then it was like, oh, people are coming here for this glass or for this shirt as opposed to a beer. And
I have a Wana beer koozie that I love. So
it's. I mean, we couldn't stop the merch game now because it's so much. It's part of our bottom line. Like we cannot.
No, it's
stop,
amazing.
You can't stop the momentum because it's like we're spending a lot of money on merch. We're making money off merch, but I guarantee you, 2 bad weekends, this brewery's dead. Because I'm still like we're still broke even though we're making. It's just very.
It's a weird,
So we can't really stop the merch game. It works.
Once you start, you gotta keep going.
Well, like right now, everything's like you guys been outside. It's like it's a great night. It's packed. There's people. But man,
we had to come in here. It was too loud out there.
But you throw like a 1 drop of rain in, and like you could just kill an entire weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
just 1 drop, and they're just like, oh. It doesn't matter if it doesn't rain the rest of the day. 1 drop dropped.
But y'all are getting AC in the
but yeah,
the building soon. So that'll help.
That'll definitely help during summer. But you know, if weather can't get people to their cars, you know.
True that. Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows that. I don't know. There are days, or I should say there are certain months that like it's just like, oh shit, did something go wrong? But then all of a sudden there'll be a weekend of hope, where it's like too many people. It's like you know, you're just like, what?
I feel like the city of Katy really supports you, and I feel like you also support the city of Katy. There's a lot of back and forth, and you have customers that just are so Katy strong when it comes to no label.
I've noticed that too from an outsider.
I mean, it's a very. I mean, the relationship. I mean, we so many vendors and so many organizations and so many people, and I don't know where. Like,
and you're a yes guy. You're saying, come on, come try it. If you want to set up and you want to.
I mean, no is a word that's very like. It's just very like we can't make this happen.
Right.
And usually it's like Tom, we can't make the brewery do that. It was like, what? Since when? It was like, oh shit. All right.
Yeah, most people are like, we can't do this. We can't do this. You're just trying to push the envelope and figure out what you can do.
Whoa.
I know a little bit.
Like you're talking about like there's a certain like thing. I was like, it can't be that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll figure it out later. And sometimes things aren't really that. I mean, sometimes when you break down like certain like a certain collab or whatever, it's like, oh, all we did was ask questions and someone said yes, and a lot.
That's what we're doing with this podcast. We're just like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? I'm like, okay.
Right. I mean, it's not what I mean. Some things aren't. They're more difficult, I think, in your head than they are actually.
Than actually executing. Yeah.
Because once you get like today, speaking of crushes, I've been I had 9 crushy entries that I had paid for.
Wow.
Back in February, but I hadn't filled out these these essay submissions and the media and all. There's the whole song and dance of submitting these crushes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's my entire life. It's just like procrastination. And I was like, God, there's no way. Maybe they can give me more
You
time.
say that,
Maybe.
but because you're so self-aware and you're like, oh, procrastination. But it's because when you lock down, you start knocking things out, you get it done.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, the second I lost,
You're hard on yourself. I'm hard on
The
myself.
second I like went through the first one, I was like, all right, hold on, and then now it's like
You just start knocking.
it's like
it
when
out.
you clean out a room in like your house or something. Like,
And you feel good after too.
like,
Yeah.
and then it's like, hold my calls. This is all. this is all I'm doing today. I feel like I'm.
No, you very much are the embodiment of work hard, play hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Definitely agree with that.
Yeah, as my doctor would agree with that.
But you're out running every single day. It looks like.
Not every single day, but 4 days out of the week for sure.
Yeah.
4 days out of the week for sure. It gets so I don't drink on Sundays. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is my good safe zone of a degree of sobriety.
Yeah. Same here. I'm kind of like that myself lately.
Maybe let's say every other Wednesday, I may break like somewhat, but typically I try to hold off until Thursday. But once I go, I mean, I don't. It is very like.
So you actually you have a lot of discipline.
I would.
Well, I mean, okay.
Did you get that? Did you get his face on camera?
I don't know if I did. But what I mean is, you decided you stuck to this workout routine because you've been doing it's been years now, right?
Yeah. Well, it used to be. So when I turned 30, I got prostate cancer.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
And
I didn't know that.
And that was a rough one because the girl I was at that time pretty serious, and then it was a disappointing breakup. How about that? And during the whole kind of process.
Yeah.
And then I got real depressed and I put on a lot of weight. After the cancer, was because I was in this weird mindset of I don't know, shit happens, and person that you think you're very attached to, it does. I don't know. It was a weird, dark. It was like, but
That
man,
does
shit.
suck, man.
But then it was like the only way to get out is to almost push yourself out. And then, but I put on a lot of weight, and I got I got a very bad spot. But eventually, I just started running. And then,
But to stick to that and do it like you do, and then you say you don't drink on Sundays, and what I think what a lot of people see is this: Tom just does what Tom does, but I don't. I think it's more planned than that, and I think that you are a more disciplined person. Than you let on.
there's 3 to 4 sober days a week for sure.
Really?
Always.
Okay.
But it operates within that Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. Maybe one day at the other end, but I will always. Someone's got to pay the piper.
Well, because you work hard, get the work done, knock out what needs to be done. Like I said, you talk about procrastination, and that's because you know yourself. But when you stick to something, you get it done. You get it done.
I mean, you guys are in the industry. I mean, sometimes there is almost a beer requirement.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like trying to figure out how to. I don't know. If you drink every day, then you're not even going to enjoy it.
Right.
No, for sure. And you still enjoy this.
And then you're just
normally the life of the party.
Yeah.
When I see you, you're the life of the party. Everybody wants to talk to you.
Yeah. And I'm very similar in the way that I kind of do the same thing. I will drink on Sundays, but I'd say Monday to Thursday. Thursday, if I have music bingo, I'll drink at bingo. Mm-hmm. And then I do sometimes, when I get back after work, I get back to Decca and drop the van off. I get, a couple of shift beers. Most of the time, I just have one. I just have one just to chill, and then I go home, and then that's it. But so I can't say it's as hard as a no beer, but I'm not overindulging or anything like that. I may have a beer on Monday and a beer on Tuesday, and then but yeah, sometimes none. But for that first part of the week, I just try to relax and definitely just there's this, you have to kind of rein it in sometimes. I also have to remind myself to drink water all the time.
Do you do any THC products, Tom?
No,
Not at all.
THC is not for me.
Not for you.
No,
And No
How come?
Label's never gonna make THC products.
Highly doubtful.
Okay.
Are you just weed doesn't work with you, or you don't work with it, or?
Both.
Yeah,
Both. I have no problem with weed.
of course. but-
There's a lot of people on our team that take a lot of 5-10 minute breaks.
You want to name them? No.
They just never was worked with you. I mean, some people are like that.
Listen, it's not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
but,
Yeah.
It's just, like some people. So like some of my best friends are, they've. It's like, come on, enjoy it. It's like, nah.
Yeah. Some
Try-
people don't.
try-
Man.
Like I tried. Got anxiety. You're not doing it right. Do it more. No, more anxiety.
More anxiety is better.
Like more anxiety. I mean, typically I'm very libertarian, so my type of thing is like, I really think people should be able to kind of do whatever you want, as long as you're not being an asshole about it,
Yeah.
and you're not like hurting
anybody.
like someone. And you're not being obnoxious and shit. Like, it's like, it's very weird when someone's like, oh, you know what this guy was doing behind closed doors? What do I care?
Right.
Behind closed doors?
Right. Yeah. Why should people care? I don't get it.
I
don't get it. But
was
yeah,
like, go find a hobby.
I just find it interesting. THC is definitely like making its way into the industry, and I would say this year by far we've seen it all over the tap walls. It's all over town. People are drinking it. I did it the other day. I was at a bingo, and it was a Tuesday, and I didn't want to drink, so I drank THC, and it was nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we are starting to get into sodas. I think
Oh wow.
our
You're making your own soda?
our head brewer Ryan Traylor is trying to.
Ryan Traylor's awesome, by the way.
He's incredibly talented and brewer. He's got 2 great kids, and we're a family-friendly brewery, and it just seemed like a great way to. It was coming this year, and also it's hard, man, because the thing is we have tanks, and our tanks are
Right. Yeah.
like we have to. There are certain beers we have to make, and
Yeah.
and it's like, how do you kind of fit in that experimentation? And
It's not a beer.
we're in a weird space as a brewery because we're kind of built to be a production brewery, but the market has definitely dictated that we should be more like hyper focused
Yeah.
on stuff in the tap room. But our
Right.
tanks are so big, and our glycol chiller can only handle so much.
Right.
And so sodas are a great way to where you can let creativity flow. I really have this dream that I really want to do kind of a father-son, Father's Day like flight kind of thing where
That's cool.
Where something like a dad comes in and like for some drinks, and their son comes in with like a mini one, with a bunch of sodas.
Yeah.
And then
My kids would love that.
And then Trailer's like explaining like flavors to everyone and stuff. I think that would be a cute little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Right.
introduces them to the whole experience of tasting a flight with someone talking about the flavors and breaking it down, how it's made, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
because
super
it's the
cool.
same concept,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Of like, here's what we're taking. Here's where I think that would be. I think that's a. I don't know. I'm all for it.
I think it's cool.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Would you
I would
sell
go to that.
your soda outside the brewery? Would that be something that would possibly happen?
Ideally, that's
Okay.
that's what
Entering a new market.
that's where we want to go. I mean, there are some issues with basically contaminating the lines in terms of packaging, because a lot of sugar in those lines.
Okay.
But it's just another challenge that I try to problem solve. But yeah, that's in terms of packaging. We can certainly sell kegs and slims and stuff like that. It would really open the door to us to sponsor. There's a lot of things we can't sponsor in the community because people view us as this alcohol facility.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was at Buff, I remember Rasul came in one day. He was upset because St. Arnold, there was like, how is St. Arnold sponsoring this, and we can't sponsor this? And I was like, oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Call up Lenny, or I had a shoot over at St. Arnold. So and I talked to Lenny about it. He's like, oh yeah, we make root beer. And I was like, oh yeah, go back. It's like they make root beer. It's like, well, that's stupid. Yeah, like it's like, I mean, yeah, and the root beer's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
There was a brewery over here in Katy that closed down a couple years ago. Battle Hops.
Battle Hops, so.
They made some of their own soda. Did you ever try any of their stuff? Yeah.
No, I think because they opened, I want to say, shortly before the pandemic.
Yeah, I went over there a couple times. I was doing the F Your Liver card game. It seemed like a natural place to hit up and try to talk to people. But yeah, it was a cool spot. They came and went pretty quickly, though.
They came and went pretty quickly. I think maybe like 2-3 years, maybe. There was a brewery out here, or a tap room, Voodoo Brewing. They were
oh my gosh!
They were here for even less than that.
What was that like? Was that less than a year?
Less than a year. I think that. I mean, I don't know the specifics, but from what I hear, it's tied up in more of a, because it's part of a
franchise. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So, but I know the, I mean, the guys at Battle Hops, they were.
Yeah,
I know right off the bat they got into it with Val at Valinson's over some logo stuff.
Oh wow!
Because they had a Viking hop on the helmet, and they sent a C&D or a version of that over to Val or Valinson's because he had something similar, and it was like kind of right off the bat. It was like this isn't a isn't a good juju look.
Yeah.
Like it's really not what the industry is about.
No.
Like. Listen, you want to do that? You just drive to the building and yell at him in the office like a normal.
Yeah. So it's funny because you mentioned that because I've heard a similar story about when Cody tried to call his Hefeweizen El Jefe. He didn't realize you guys had made your Hefeweizen's called El Jefe.
Yeah.
And he was saying something similar to the effect of like he said that y'all sent him a C&D as a joke.
No, I don't think any C&Ds have ever left this place.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't even know what lawyer to call. No, because this has happened before. There was actually a brewery up in where were we? Portland. There was a brewery in Portland, and they actually had a beer called El Jefe, and the font was like. It was. I was looking at it. I was like, this is before we did the rebrand, and it was like, I was just like, what in the world? And apparently, our designer at the time had ripped off a Hefeweizen from Germany, and they had ripped off a Hefeweizen in Germany, but we're both calling it the same thing.
Oh, that's hilarious! So it's like their font or whatever.
But it was like, it was shockingly similar. But ours had been around longer. But I remember Logan at the time, our old operations manager, was like, "Well, that can't." It's like maybe we should, it's like we need to contact a trade infringement attorney. I was like, "What? We don't have the money for all this stuff."
Yeah.
And also, who cares?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's at the end of the day. Yeah. It's not
I mean. No, I don't know why. I'll talk to Cody next time I see him.
No, he says he's talking very highly. He says y'all obviously have a great relationship. It was just like a jokingly. It may have been just in passing, like a joking thing or something like that.
I mean, it is our number one selling beer. I guess I should be a little bit more defensive about it. But
he calls his beer First Offense. Because of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. First offense. Because that was his first. That's what he told me. That's the story I heard. But either way, he also called. He did just a one-off. It was an Irish. It was an Irish ale of sorts. It's kind of like an ESB sort of, and he called it Hopston at first. Yeah. And we were like, "Well, you can't call it that." And he was just like, "Well, fuck it, call it Hopton. Take the S out." And I was like, "I love it." I mean, it was a small batch. It was like We're already out of it. We're sold out.
Guys, I want to get to the point where we take a break, but before we do
I
that,
gotta pee.
because we're at an hour. I do want another beer. Casey has to pee. But before we do that, Tom, I brought a little gift today.
Oh, a gift.
Yeah, a gift. And I'm going to give it to you live on the podcast right now. Well, not live.
Because you're the first one.
You're the first one that gets a Beer Someone t-shirt. Yeah. Look at that. If you don't mind showing that to the camera as well. So
Yeah. Beer Someone.
Pretty cool, yeah. Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool, yeah. We're not selling them yet. We're just going to be, well, first of all, if you're watching this right now, you have an opportunity to win this. So if you like, follow, share, we're going to clip this. You will have an opportunity to win this. We're going to pick I'm going to say 2 winners, and I'm going to ship it to your houses. You just give me your information privately. And just if you want an opportunity, they will be for sale eventually. I'm probably going to put a pre-order system on my Spider Games eBay store. But yeah, I don't know if that's the right size. If
It's
not,
the right size.
Awesome.
I'm an XL. So my very best friend Garrett also an XL. Different reasons. He's like jacked, and I'm XL because it's covers more of a
space.
yeah.
Well, I only ordered a couple of them. I want to start giving them out to the guests that are coming on, and I want to give them away as freebies for watching the show.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. And that's all. That artwork's actually designed by Mitch Adams, who is the rep for Holler.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very cool, dude.
really cool guy.
Very cool, dude.
Okay.
Holler's a good place.
Yeah.
Great place.
Holler is a great place, yeah. I agree.
So let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll
Yep.
be back.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hello, and welcome to Spider Games. A few years ago, I started selling a couple video games on eBay. Now I'm selling video games of all generations, retro toys, and anything I think's cool. I'm a top-rated seller because I package well and I take care of my customers. Check out my store on eBay. It's called Spider Games. Do you have any old video games sitting around? I buy video games of all generations, and I pay better than the game stores. If you do, email me at spidergamesebay@gmail.com.
I'm also known as DJ Sino. You can find me at least a couple of different breweries or craft beer bars throughout the month hosting the best music bingo in all of Houston. We'll be sharing those shenanigans right here on the Beer Someone podcast.
F your liver, the game that will have you salute the general, and then say the alphabet backwards, and then elect the president, and then bust a move, and then throw a ninja star, and then shoot your finger gun, and then roar like a T-Rex, and then freeze like ice, and then karate chop, and then bust a rhyme, and then bet on a horse race, and then spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and then make your buddy laugh. Don't touch the ground because the floor is lava. Tell a story. Eat my lips. Just grab 3 to 20 friends, a drink of your choice, shuffle and flip the top card, and let the chaotic hilarity unfold. F your liver, a game worth drinking to.
Touching tips.
Okay, we're going to
is.
continue this podcast here at No Label Brewing. I'm Brandon Watson. I'm here with Casey, Tom, and we're adding somebody else to the mix. You're on the camera.
No.
Yeah, if it's red, it's on you. Yeah. You wanna say hi? Into the microphone.
Into the microphone.
Yes, sir. Introduce yourself.
How's everyone doing? I am Chris Hernandez. I'm a graphic designer, illustrator, self-proclaimed barbecue champion, and I'm happy to be here to talk about.
I'm excited you're here, man.
Yeah, we've been talking
So
about this.
Tom asked me to come in. I wish I'd have got it earlier, but had a little mishap at home. But I'm here. So whatever y'all want to talk about,
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm stoked.
I'm not super prepared for 4 people. I'm gonna put it out there ahead of time. I got a 4th camera this week, and we're just messing around and testing it today. But we do not have a 4th microphone yet.
This is the future.
Yeah.
The way of the future. The way of the future.
We're embracing it.
They're doing a great job sharing that microphone.
Yep. We share a lot.
No, that's how we do it.
I'm starting to learn that.
There was that time in Denton.
So, Chris,
We can't talk about the time in Denton. Come on.
I gotta since this is the Tom podcast, but now that we have you here, I can't help but you've worked for so many breweries here in Houston. Now, can you name off like the brewery names that you've worked for?
I can't. I'm under contract. I'm just kidding. Looking around. I've done well. I got my big start was from No Label.
Yeah,
that was awesome. So this is like my home brewery. I love it here. Spindle Tap, Megaton, Senate Avenue, Galveston Island, Valencins, Excalibur Brewing.
Wow.
So
You done Decca as well?
Yes.
Took photos.
Decca.
With
The best photos we have.
Oh yeah. I mean, then there's a whole month of Murky. So then True Anomaly. I got to go
Just
through
keeps
that whole
going,
list.
yeah. All these behind us right here.
Yes. So so that's It's
why I got you. What kind of what beer are you drinking right now?
Cali Boy.
Cali Boy.
Same.
Cali Boy.
Cali Boy. What's Cali Boy?
Cali Boy is a California boy.
Yeah.
It's
you are as well, right?
This is I am.
Yes.
I am born and raised in on the West Coast, Los Angeles. Was born in Los Angeles.
So you are a Cali Boy.
I am a Cali Boy. Yes.
Can we get Chris a coaster?
Yeah.
We're very worried about the rings that we've been leaving all over
West
the table.
Coast IPA, and I love it. It's one of my first IPAs that I had here when I moved to Texas. I remember going to an HEB, and I just remember going to the beer aisle, and I was like, holy cannoli, look at this. This is crazy at a grocery store. Now, I will tell you, though, that I did go to the one of the clerks, and I said, hey, I need a bottle of Buffalo Trace. And he started laughing. He's like, what do you mean? I said, I need a bottle of bourbon. He said, oh, that's really funny. I said, no, like, I'm not going to steal. Where do you keep the whiskey? He said, we don't sell whiskey here in the grocery store. I said, bro, I'm not going to steal it, I promise. You can put the little black caps on the top of the bottles. He's like, no, in Texas, we don't sell liquor in the grocery stores. I said, really? Well, I'll just go to a liquor store tomorrow. You can't. Why not? Because it's Sunday.
We
They're
really
all
need to make
closed.
this change, though. I think so.
The Sunday thing is
I was
ridiculous.
like, what the heck? What am I in, like Utah or something? What is going on here?
Or something.
It's weird.
I mean, back in California, you can go to a gas station and buy a bottle of whiskey.
Right. Yeah.
You go to a CVS or a Rite Aid or Walgreens and buy a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
So
That was so weird to me the first time I saw because I grew up most of my life in Texas. The first time I saw that in the world, it like blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Even Louisiana's got it a little better than us here. Here. Yeah.
But I remember going to the store and I saw a Cali Boy and I said, oh, that's cool. Look at that can. It says Cali Boy. I'm kind of a Cali Boy. And that was before I had even met any of them. So
How'd you meet Tom?
I was doing a paint night one night and I had seen Tom here before. And I was like, I bet that guy's the owner. But then I looked over and we saw this other guy who was a regular here and everybody thought he was the owner, Brad. But I did a paint night one night, and he pulled me aside, and he said, hey, can I talk to you real quick? And I said, yeah, okay. And I was like, I think that's one of the owners. I'm like, oh, maybe I said something bad or something, said a bad word in front of a kid. And then he pulled me outside, and he said, so...
Well, you did think you were going to get kicked out.
I did. We had...
There's some drama we won't get into.
Yeah. Whole different story.
Did think he was going to get kicked out.
Why can't we get into it?
And
What's
then the conversation took a completely different turn.
Yeah.
Tell us the story,
I
Tom.
want the juice.
We cannot.
No.
Oh, that was the eyebrows raised. Yeah.
I think I almost probably would have got... I don't think I would have got arrested, but I it was something. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Anyways. It wasn't anything indecent, I promise. I don't do that stuff anymore. So he pulled me aside. We went outside, and he's looking around. He said, so could you paint murals? And I said, yeah, I painted murals before. I mean, he's like, you're painting on the ground? And I said, not really. I mean, I can. And then he just had this idea. He said, look, so I've been going he goes everywhere. I love that. He goes all over the place, and he's just into the art. He just dives in. He's into the every little detail of a brewery, where the brewers are from, the staff, the interior design of it, the hops, everything. What kind of awards they won. And he said, so I've been traveling around. I noticed that people are doing murals at their breweries. Would you be interested in doing a mural here? I said, yeah, let's do it. And so we started. And he said, well, what's it going to take? I said, well, I don't know. I've never painted a mural. I painted murals on the walls, but I've never painted on the ground. So I did a little bit of research. And, we came up with the murals that are out there right now. So
Yeah, we were just out there checking them out 10 minutes ago, yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was really neat.
Yeah, they're really cool. They're very cool, man.
Thank you.
It's really cool. I love all the artwork. Everything that I've seen. This is amazing. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So that's how that came about. And then after that, just hanging out all the time. And hey, can you do this? Can you do this job for me? Sure. Hey, do you know how to do this? Yep.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so you work with Tom, but you also work with all these other breweries, and
Yes.
Tom lets you do that, and you don't have like some exclusive contract with no label.
Again, I wouldn't even know where to get that contract.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no.
But
I
you
don't
do.
have a
I would say the
contract.
majority of. I think more than any brewery in Houston, you've probably done more work for no label.
Absolutely.
Right? Yes.
Absolutely. Like I said, they're like my home brewery. I mean, I love them here. The staff, they're my family. It's really neat. I mean, I don't have any family out here. My like blood family, they're all in California or San Antonio. So it's like the beer tenders and Tom and Randy and manage everybody. The trailer and all of them back there. They're like my family.
Yeah,
they're
that's
like,
cool.
I mean, I got friends when I go to the breweries. They're like, hey, it's great. I mean, they're my friends, but ultimately, like they're my family here. And
Right. There's a difference.
I always get excited when I see you anywhere. I saw you at Senate Avenue. This is a shirt that Chris just put out at Senate Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back.
That was
on me
fun.
so
And
you
I
can see
made that for Andrew. Andrew's a vet, and they're a veteran-owned brewery. So I thought that was cool to
No, I love it. It's
do a
right up
grunt
my
style.
alley
They call
as
it the
well.
grunt style. So yeah, I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool.
We love those guys too.
Yeah.
The Senate Avenue is
No,
great.
good. It's 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
that
yeah,
I know where you
yeah.
live.
I live really close to.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, no, I don't have a contract, but whenever Tom needs something or anybody else, I do what I can for them. So
Yeah.
they do a lot for me, and I appreciate them.
We talked
I
about your
appreciate
paint
that.
night, your Harry Potter paint night earlier.
That was crazy.
Was it?
Ooh, it was fun. We sold
Okay.
out. We sold
Yeah.
out.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, we sold
Hell
out. It
yeah.
was fun. I had kids anywhere from 5 years old up to adults. And my 5-year-olds, they were going crazy. They were having fun. And
Yeah.
Tom went all out, and he found out he's in the Slytherin house because I'm in Gryffindor.
I'm a Slytherin, Tom.
Okay.
So Tom's Slytherin.
Okay, so what are
And,
you?
I have no idea.
You gotta take a house
I don't know.
test.
I don't think I'm a bad guy.
I think you're a Hufflepuff.
Oh, that sounds
You could be
all
a
right.
Hufflepuff.
I could
could
see
be.
it.
Yeah. I'm
You
gonna
said you're Gryffindor.
I do like to
Gryffindor.
I am Slytherin.
puff
I
puff
am.
along.
And when I took the test, I tried really hard to just I wonder if I just act like a dick and answer the questions like this, I'll be in Slytherin.
Oh, so
Nope.
because we're Slytherin, we're dicks.
Pretty much.
I thought that was kind of the way
not
the
so
movie
much
portrayed it.
A dick, but
Right?
the Slytherin house is like you're the bad boys. You're like the cool people. Like everybody wants to be in Slytherin.
Okay.
They're just cool, and then it's like you don't want to be in Gryffindor. That's Harry Potter's, and you're goody two shoes. But I ended up in Gryffindor. I said, hey, I'm gonna own it. I'll be in Gryffindor. It's all good.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yep.
And you're gonna be doing more for that was the second one, y'all. You did a big event for the second movie, right?
That was the third one.
That was the third one. I'm
That
sorry.
was the Prisoner of Azkaban. So
Tom just like throws the
Yeah, so,
swipes the table. Hey, you didn't do your homework.
yeah. So the next one's gonna be the Goblet of Fire.
That's my favorite Harry Potter movie.
The Goblet of Fire?
I think I'm the only one too. I never hear people praise. Everybody loves the third one.
Yeah.
And everybody loves the fifth one. The Goblet of Fire. I
That's a
remember
cool
seeing
one.
that in theaters.
That's
That's
a
the one
cool
where I
one.
was like, this. You know what? I like these movies.
Yeah. They're fun. They're cool. They're very cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome what he's put together. I mean, it's when you see what he did, like last night, when you see the tap room.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
You have the what are they, like the Deathly Hollows, like what are they? They look like the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. The monsters. They have them. God,
slipping my mind.
Yeah, you know
It's from the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the they guard Azkaban.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally know what you're talking
So
about.
Yeah.
he had them up, and it's like they were like, yeah, I know what that is. So they were hanging up, and it was windy last night, and all you saw were the claws moving around, and you look up, and the clouds were, you could see the moon. It was just like a
Those
creepy
things scared
movie.
the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yes.
And at Universal when I went a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Just a correction. The tap room. Put 'em up. and we got that stuff from George from Urban South.
Yeah?
Let's take away the meat.
It's not scary. It sounds, come to the tap room.
I didn't put
Bring
it
your
up.
kids.
Our tap room team made all the magic happen.
I figured you didn't do it yourself.
Okay.
The tap room.
I want to say this about
What?
Tom, and Tom, you can respond as well.
Yeah.
And Chris, you can definitely fill in. Anytime anybody tries to compliment you, you immediately push it on to anybody else that works with you. You
very humble.
Hair is magnificent, and we should all have it. It's too bad you cut it off.
Yeah.
More.
I'm gonna
Have more to hold on to.
See that?
You want something to hold on to, that's all.
He does do that. He does not. He doesn't take a compliment. He always compliments his team.
Very humble.
He's very humble.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that about him too. So, like
And
last
he's
night-
shaking his head. He's like, "I'm not humble. Stop
last
saying
night,
nice things."
I had a full house right over there in that part of the tap room, and he walked in just trying to hide. And I said, "Hey, everybody, this is Tom. Everyone give a hand." And Tom said, "Nope," and he walked away. And I said, "No."
Because you had a group. How many people?
There was like 18
Okay.
painters. Yeah. But
Everybody look at you. You
that's
have a
awesome.
microphone
It was
attached to you.
18, and it
18
was
is awesome.
And it was also
great.
like their families were hanging out. So there was probably about 25 to 30 people in this area.
That's fucking cool.
So if you don't know what we're
That's a
talking
lot
about,
to
you come up
manage.
here at a no label and you can paint a piece of Harry Potter art
Did everybody paint the same
while
thing?
drinking a delicious
That's a lot to
no
manage.
label beer.
It was
Yeah.
a lot.
There's also
Yeah.
a playground for the kids to run around. Lots of food trucks. This is a
Absolutely.
great. It's a great
No,
vibe.
it's a
And
great
you got a lot
vibe.
of Harry
It's really
Potter
cool.
decorations. Staff
It's really
were playing
cool.
a part of it. Yeah.
That is really
Yeah, I
cool.
did great. I mean, I had 9 in the morning. I woke up in the morning. I said, well, there's like 9, and then 2 more people signed up. And I needed the break because I was just in Tennessee the day before, so
Yeah.
I was tired.
I saw that.
And then it's like, boom, I get here, and my wife, she was helping, my wife Amy, and she's like, hey, you got 3 more signups. And I'm like, okay, 13, 14. And then he comes up and said, 3 more, you got 3 more. I went, okay. And I started looking at my canvases. I said, shit, I only brought like 17 canvases. And I felt bad because I sold out. And there was a guy with his 2 kids, and I had 1 canvas. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give you the canvas that I'm going to paint on, and I'm going to go in my car and just find an old canvas, and I'm going to do the demonstration on that because I want your kid to paint.
Yeah, dude.
And he's
Yeah.
like, all right, man, I appreciate that. And I was just like, yeah, dude, I mean, I can't turn the kid away.
Fuck
No
yeah,
way.
man.
So
That's cool.
the
Oh,
kids
yeah.
had a blast, and I'm so glad. And she was the 5-year-old, and she did so good. And the parents were just watching her, and they said, she loves art. And I said, could you imagine if I would have turned her away?
Right. That was like like that, because I've done some events like that, or I've even taught people guitar and shit like that.
Yeah.
There's always that there's that one person that you're just kind of like, this is the one, this is the I don't know, the one you want to cater to a little bit more, just because
Yeah,
of whatever
yeah.
reason she's 5 or because they were, I don't know. I just think it's cool. That's
And
awesome.
that's cool, and that's just it. Like one day, maybe that kid will be doing something awesome with art and say, you know what? I don't remember the guy's name. He was a good-looking guy with great hair.
Yeah.
But but he taught me how to.
All right, so you're not so humble.
No, but that's awesome because
not
you're
good
right.
looking, I'm
You're
good
right.
looking.
She's good. I have similar situations like that throughout my life, throughout my childhood, that I still remember. Don't remember their name, but I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Some
Yeah.
people impacted me, man. That's
That's
awesome.
just it. It's what you leave behind for them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And when I was a teacher for a few years, and I would always tell people, it's what I leave behind for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's ultimately what it is. Like, my life's over. I'm only 47, but I always tell people when I was teaching, I'm like, my life's over. My life's over. So it's like whatever I leave for the kids, that's what matters the most,
Yeah.
So
That's very cool, man.
Thank you.
So I want to something I'm excited. I've been wanting to talk about in this conversation is, it's something I'm looking forward to every year now. I celebrate October because I know that it's Murky Meyer season, And yes, he's wearing a Murky Myers shirt. Let me put it on Chris real quick. There we go. That's the Murky Myers shirt, the 2024. Chris did all the artwork for Murky Myers and all the breweries participating. Can we name off the breweries that participated last year in 2024?
We had Turkey Forest.
Yeah, Turkey Forest.
We had Megaton.
Yeah, Megaton. Decca, of course. No label, obviously.
No label, obviously.
Valencin's. Galveston Bay.
Galveston Bay. And then this year we had Excalibur, which was cool.
Excalibur. We had, what's the Columbus?
New Magnolia was
New
there
Magnolia.
too.
Hound Song from Columbus.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Am I missing? Are we missing anybody? I just want to make sure we don't.
Galveston Bay.
I said Galveston Bay. Who? Elder Son.
Yep.
Elder Son.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's everybody.
Senate.
Senate Avenue, of course. Yeah, I think everybody was mentioned.
It was fun.
So I want to know where that idea came from.
This is one of the reasons I credit you, the Gimmick King. Sorry, I know the Gimmick Jester.
You missed out the first segment.
Yeah.
They
Gimmick
called me a
jester.
character, and then they called me a gimmick.
I didn't
These
call
were
you a
compliments.
gimmick. You get it's a compliment because I enjoy.
These are
a gimmick.
Brandon compliments, by the way.
Yes, these are Brandon compliments because Brandon likes a good gimmick, and I like to do a gimmick myself, and what you've achieved with the Murky Myers gimmick, it is a gimmick, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's fun. Murky's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Can we talk about the beginning of Murky? What sparked that idea? What it came from?
So I mean, Murky Myers himself is just
a really cool dude.
It's just Michael Myers, and we were gonna do our head brewer. He was developing a hazy, and we're kind of a geeky oriented. Mm-hmm. Our GM is pretty like nerdy, and we do a lot of pretty kids. We're just grown up kids. Mm-hmm. But then our head brewer wanted to do a beer called Murky Myers. And he was like, I'm testing around names. He's like, what do you think about, like, he's like, Murky Myers, or yada yada. I was like, and immediately when he said it, I had this idea of like, that scene from Halloween, the hedges and the like Michael Myers peeking out, and immediately in my head I was just like this can that's in like a coat, it's kind of like peeking, like, because. The way Trailer was describing the beer, he's like, "Oh, we can make this kind of hop bomb, but we can make this 8.5% deceptive. You don't see it coming, and then it's kind of." I was like, "Oh, it's
love it, yeah,
yeah, it's all."
I love that Chris just put the music on.
Just keep,
and then, but it was like the icon was just so. It was like almost cute because then it was like, because then we went to, so the first artist we went to was Anthony Garitti from Beer Chronicle.
I love this beer, by the way, Murky Myers. It's probably my favorite beer you make.
It's great. But the art, like we started.
Art's great.
Because I was like, I want a beer can and I want him in this thing and I want him with a little knife or a little whatever. And then we did all these scenes that were like, all right, how does this look? And it was the most adorable thing you ever, because it's just this little can, like, well, it's not very threatening.
No, yeah.
But it's adorable.
Yeah.
And then because it's, so that was year one. Year two, we came around to Murky Myers, and it must have been an election year or something. But I was very hell bent on. Yard signs. I was like, you know what? I bet we can get someone to do a custom. I was talking to Rodney from Cast Branding, and he was like, we can make this happen. We can make a Murky yard sign. And once we made the Murky yard sign, we brought him to like CBC, a lot of beer festivals. And at this point,
Cask Branding's done tons of stuff for breweries as well.
Rodney Campbell, Cast Branding, yeah,
that's. You mentioned Tony too. I'm like, yeah, you're naming all these are all people that are doing stuff for breweries. It's cool.
Yeah. Oh my God, Chris Hernandez, Rodney Campbell, myself, and those stupid Eclipse glasses we did last year. Oh my gosh! I hope they win and crush it. We did craft beer submissions today. Mm-hmm. We made some Eclipse glasses. They're great. They're cool. It was a very cloudy event.
Everybody put them on at the Eclipse party, and they said, "I can't see anything." I said, "Just take the glasses off." They went, "Am I gonna get hurt?" I said, "No. There's too many clouds for you to get hurt. Just leave them off."
I remember that too. Yeah.
So we did these yard signs, but then like we go to these beer festival events, and then what would happen is like Skylar from Galveston Bay and Val and all these guys were like they were taking Murky around. I'm like, who has Murky? Skylar's like, I have Murky. He's with me tonight.
Kind of like the flag thing we were talking about. Yeah.
And everyone just be like, I was like, okay, as long as he's safe. and then all of a sudden he just started to get really personified. And cut to 2 years ago, Skylar was, I went into a collaboration with, collaborations are very hard things to do because every brewery has to basically find the time, find the beer space. Someone's got to be on a receiving end.
But in alignment with another brewery. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really magic that it happens in,
right.
Like a general, and who's going to sell it, who's going to make whatever, right? And then collaborations can be very difficult. But we were talking about Skylar had so much love for Murky. It was like, oh, we should do a weekend at Murky's thing over at Galveston Bay. But then
weekend at Murky's is great.
Yeah.
But then from that is one of these long nights into the early hours of the morning, where it was like I was hanging out with Val, I think, and it might have been like 3 a.m. or something ridiculous, but it was very like, how do you get on to that too? And then it was like, what if we did it? Because like in my head, I'm like, Murky's like a rascal. He's like and it's like, because I kind of seen what we were conceptualizing with Weekend at Murky's, and it was like, what if Murky could be this different form of Murky wherever he goes, and what if, and then there are a group of us that were in a group chat, like, so it was easy pickups. It was easy like being like, all right, Val, and like
just pinging off each other.
And Hound Song. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that were just like, we're in, easy. We love Murky. We love that little bastard. Again, he's not real, but you wouldn't know. And then so a lot of these Megaton, a lot of these like it was an easy pitch, and then it also is. It's an easy collab pitch because
it's got to be the biggest collab in Houston.
That's from Houston, yeah.
Yeah. The only other one I can think of is the there was the yeast one. Daisy Chain. Yeah.
Chain. Oh, I guess
Daisy Chain was kind of cool.
As well.
Yeah, of course. Well, Pink Boots, but like
this is like.
Does Pink Boots do a collab that's like where a bunch of breweries all do one?
Well, it's always a collab.
It's a Pink Boots beer. That's right. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a yeast strain.
That's right.
National,
Yeah, that's right.
It's but as far as like Houston-based breweries, it's kind of like.
I'm here for it. I love it. I think Murky Mind's amazing.
It's one of those like things though. I don't know. Like part of me was like, early on when we did the first year, someone was like, maybe there should be a nonprofit component or something like that. Yada right? Yada. I was like, with all due, like on this idea of like, we give away so much. All the time
already.
Like I want this collaboration to be easy. I don't want checks to be made. I want it to be like there is no central recipe. Really, it's just like everyone makes a double.
But you guys do send out a recipe? Is that correct?
No, there is no recipe.
You don't send a recipe? Okay.
So there's no recipe.
Okay, I was told there was a recipe.
Just make your own.
There's a style kind of guideline.
Double dry hop, double IPA.
But just make it your own.
But essentially, you make it your own.
Any hops.
Send it on their first one. It was a 9.6% beer. I was like, Andrew, what the fuck? I was like, didn't you get the style guidelines? He's like, there were none. I was like,
I'm pretty sure I was drinking Mayor Murky on last Sunday with you.
Was that Mayor Murky that
They have most of the breweries have a variation on tap.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
it
it
wears
was.
a murky hat during, but it's like fast. I wanted to make it as easy as possible. In the second year, there were some things I wanted to iron out. So the first year there were 6, 7 breweries, and this last year there were 12. This year there'll be more.
How many more?
Be more.
What? Come on.
20 is probably in and around 20.
Okay.
Probably in and around 20.
And are they
shit,
all
that's
going to
awesome.
be in Houston?
No.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
What does that mean?
Well, some breweries they're just in for the fun. They're just in for the
Okay,
fun.
but you're not gonna have to visit them to.
No, you want.
So I talked to you a little bit about this. It might be like an and/or situation.
Yeah, I forgot the
regions like.
Yeah,
risk.
no, I was gonna do. I was doing stuff like that, but some
Can we give a
breweries.
quick, just brief rundown of what it means, like what it
Yeah,
is?
let's talk about what is.
Just in case people are listening and don't understand what we're doing.
That was Dr. Love.
That was Dr. Love.
Hey, Dr. Love.
Dr. Love is the door just opened and a great doctor came in the room. He's our longest running bartender here. 10 years.
He's fucking cool
10
as
years
shit.
at No Label. It's a long time.
That's
to be
Cool
long
as fuck. Yeah, it's awesome.
The month of Murky. It's so when we finally was like, hey, we're all these breweries, they do this rendition of month of Murky. The only thing they have to pay into is I think it's like we got it down to $100, $200. Essentially, it's like, and really they have to pay for Chris's design talents if they haven't had a Murky before, and then they have to basically commit to up to $100 in terms of any passport or like victory swag, but that's very minimal.
What's the passport? Like what is?
So the passport is because you want people like an experience, right? You want people to like travel and visit, like
Support local.
Yeah, because if we all did it, and that would have been fine, that would have been fine enough. Because it was already kind of like, all right, we're all gonna do this, we're all gonna. But then it's like, hey, we're all gonna. I was like, we can easily. The first year it was really hard to explain to people, and then it's funny. The second year,
I got it, and I loved it. And
all the newbies were like, "What's this passport?"
It's
for?
incentive to visit breweries.
Yes.
Yeah, and all these other breweries, all the first year people were explaining to the second year people. It's like, is this easy? You're overthinking it. You don't have to do anything.
That's it.
Like there's there's a passport. All the breweries get released. If someone comes in with a piece of paper, that probably means they've never been to your brewery before.
It's an opportunity to get new customers.
It was incentive for the customer, and it's fun.
It's incentive for
fun.
everybody.
It's a fun craft beer thing.
It's kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Kind of.
It's like a scavenger
It's
hunt.
a scavenger hunt collab.
Yeah.
And just going into uncharted.
Yeah, and you get a buzz while doing so.
And you can win something, right? Like if you get them all.
If you if you finish them all, you finish your shirts.
Your shirt.
If you're like one of the first ones, you get a bit like tap room part. Like you win. But then of course, so that's the fun stuff for the customers.
Yeah.
But the big event. And everyone that participated, you know this.
Yes, I participated.
Like the big event. I mean the industries. The big event is
the Murkies.
Is the Murkies.
Yeah, Cody was there. I didn't get to go.
He wanted to come.
I wanted to go.
I got to go 2024. I missed 2023. It was a lot of fun.
23 was that was the funnest part because
I missed 23.
It wasn't like a guild meeting. It wasn't like something required to do because it was just like, hey, we're all gonna do this. That's kind of like why let me be very clear. I'm not poo-pooing or pee-peeing on any of the nonprofits, collaborations, and all that.
Of course,
stuff.
yeah.
But this was something that was like, it just had this feeling of like, oh, we're just doing this for us.
For us, yeah, for the industry, yeah.
Like there's no like you're making a beer. We're driving people to two breweries, but then like on that industry night, there's been a lot of talk of like, wouldn't it be great to do Murky Festival and have everyone there? And I'm like, I keep on leaning away from it because as much fun as an idea as that is, I was like, it takes away from the it's like maybe if we hit 5 years, we'll do something for that. But
I mean, that would be cool, but what it is now.
I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to. It's like that night was. So the first time it was great because everyone was judging each other's. People were putting all the hazies on murky, and they were drinking them and judging them. And then on this last one, we actually had trophies made of all of Chris's designs, of all the murkies. These, and so every brewery got one. But then we also had an independent panel come in and judge all the murkies on the side, and you have all these brewers who are just like, boo. Boo! Don't do that one. Like everyone's like shit talking to each other, and then we had a little mini award ceremony where it was on the third place and second place, and people were getting their trophies. It's like good, finally.
Shamelessly, I'm gonna say Decca got one of those. Yeah, we got best overall.
It was.
Hound Song got best murky, best split. I guess I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't see how it was.
I
broke
was
down.
there and I don't remember.
No, they got best. So it was all with the judges. The judges came back and they're like with how whatever their system was on 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and how that works out.
But even if it's not a non-profit based event, you're in a sense it's still somewhat of a charitable thing. You're just promoting other breweries. You're promoting people to go visit other breweries. And I worked a shift at Decca one day,
gimmick.
I had people looking at the passport and they're like, I've never heard of Hound Song. I've never heard, I've never been to this brewery. And I'm like, get this and go visit them. This is a really cool thing. I'm gonna be honest, especially if you like double dry hopped hazies.
I kind of went off on the murkies this year.
No way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I was at Megaton one day, and they're like, "Oh, the murky's ready. We're gonna put it on a tap." I'm like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get the first pour of that." And Megaton does a little special thing. They do it every year with their murky. They make it green. Oh. It's radioactive murky. So I had that, and I took a little video of me trying that murky, and then I posted it online. And then I was like, and then I called Chris, the owner of Megaton. I said, "Hey man, what if I just didn't go sell beer today?" And I just went and supported a bunch of the local breweries, participated in murky, and made videos of it and just posted them all day. So I kept doing that. I went to Decca and I hung out with Casey.
Yeah, we made a video.
We made a video, and Casey actually kind of explained it because I did not explain it before. I just started doing it. And I'm like, okay, I got something here. Then I went to Excalibur, and I went to Turkey Forest, and then I went to...
You made the rounds.
I made the rounds, yeah.
I watched every video.
New Magnolia.
I watched every video, too. With
New Magnolia.
With, well, I don't know what the word is. Not worry.
True Anomaly. Galveston Bay.
Concerned.
Vallison's, and I stopped at Vallison's.
The Balances one was the. It was so funny.
I messaged Easton and Balances. I was like, to make sure. I was like, I mean, it was a journey, which is kind of the point.
Yeah,
which is something.
Which is kind of the point.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it all in one day. Just so anybody that's listening.
No, I'm a crazy person. I was trying to make a record. I don't know. I'm the most in a day, right?
But it was kind of the point. It was really enjoyable watching it because it was like that's what you kind of want. And the way you were talking to people, I mean, you were talking to people very easy.
After the first two,
well, I'm good at talking to people.
No,
honestly, doing the murky tour that we he's going away. No, okay, I was gonna say doing the murky tour was kind of one of my inspiration for. Well, I wanted to do a podcast before, and we had conversations about doing a podcast. But after doing that, I'm like, okay, I want to do this. This is the next step is doing the podcast because I'm talking to the breweries. I'm asking about their beers, asking about what went into making that beer, how they made it unique from the other beers.
I love that.
And
I think you built a nice with the videos you were making. I said you built a hype. I like that.
Right? Yeah,
you built
yeah.
A hype. Dude, this guy's going around.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
I think it helped to kind of add to the because. A lot of people do it. I know a lot of people that are regulars at Decca that went to all the breweries. And
Speaking of Decca, I have to tell you, I just found the description that Cody and I were talking about, and I have your description, the original description of your murky.
What's
Okay.
What description?
Of how we came up with
Oh,
murky.
oh yeah, the
alchemy.
murky. Well, so it was
It's like Clockwork Orange.
it was
right?
that was one thing me and Cody talked
Alchemist.
about. We got a Alchemist Murky, and then I go, hey, is it weird to say Murky Alchemist because that sounds better? And he was
Are
like,
you a Clockwork
he goes,
Orange fan?
He goes, I don't care. I don't think it matters. And I was
Ooh.
like, okay, cool. So we called it Murky Alchemist.
So,
Yes.
so like the Murkies is you win prizes, but like it's all the Murkies and it's like super limited.
That is very cool.
Like yeah,
The puppet master right there.
I was saying, Tom.
Yeah.
That I was enjoyed going and talking to everybody and doing those videos so much that I feel like it was part of the reason. Like I was like, okay, maybe we do a podcast next and we go talk to breweries for longer periods of time. And I hit up and Casey. I thought Casey was the right guy to do it with, so I hit him up, and he was just 100% about it from the moment I asked him.
Yeah, I think it was at Moon Tower. You asked me, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a win.
So glance over that. That is my notes that I came up with for Cody when we had come up. That's just an example of how we came up with the ideas for Murky. And when I talked to Cody,
Is there any sneak peeks you could give us into next year's Murky of who might be involved that wasn't involved this last year?
a brewery not in Texas.
yeah,
What?
I love because I can totally see where you're going with all those ideas.
Yeah.
Like, because it
Parrish?
totally fits. It fits. It's definitely an older crowd at DECA. There's an older crowd there. So
I
there's this,
wish.
There's this
well, and that's
timeless and retro.
That's
And,
what I was thinking.
Vintage,
and
yeah.
And my wife actually came up with the idea. She's like, "Hey, what about Clockwork Orange?" I said, "Oh shit."
and then me and Cody both were like, I was like, I fucking love Stanley Kubrick. I'm kind of.
I love Stanley.
I'm a big
Clockwork Orange
fan.
is my favorite Stanley Kubrick film.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I also really like Eyes Wide Shut though. I feel like I'm weird.
I would say Clockwork Orange is probably my favorite, but I even like Space Odyssey or
Space Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah, Oddity.
Odyssey.
I get it confused with the song, but yeah, no, 2001. No, I like that one, even though it's super super slow. It's just the way it was made and some of the futuristic shit that they had in there was great. But no, Clockwork Orange is great, and I think I really liked leaning into that one because. He asked me. He asked my opinion about it, and I was just like, man, I think they're all
awesome.
really cool. But I really like the gear thing and the whole like eye thing, and yeah, it was
That's
really
what
cool.
I thought. It was just
So
like all these gears and colors, and that's what I thought.
so now I'm thinking about it. We need to get you a DECA shirt. We have a DECA shirt with that Murky Myers, the Murky Alchemist is on the back. So
Can I
it's
get
a
one?
it's a black shirt. Yeah, of course, of course.
I need one.
But yeah, no, we'll get you one for sure. Yeah, and I have people all
Look
the
at me,
time.
I always do.
They're
You
like
gotta shoot your
Clockwork
shot."
Orange, like they see it and they know. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
No time for the old in out.
No, not yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep.
His drugs.
Yep.
No, Murky. I've had such a positive experience. I can't wait to do Murky. I think this year I'm not going to go as crazy as I did last year.
Why not?
Yeah, but I definitely am going to make the Murky Myers tour over the entire month of October.
Yeah.
And try to check out some awesome local breweries and maybe some not so local.
Yes.
Yes, it's all. He's not going to give away too much.
I have to confirm everything at CBC, which is in 2 weeks. But
It's fun too because if you're out of I was out of state, so I went to Jackalope, and we went to Jackalope for the Craft Beer Marketing Awards a couple years ago. So it's like even if they aren't in Texas, if you're out of state, then you could say, "Oh,
Ooh.
they were in month of Murky. I'm gonna go check them out."
No, for sure. I
think
love
it's
it.
cool.
I love it. You're giving breweries exposure.
Exactly.
And that's what this industry needs
Absolutely.
right now, for sure.
I mean, it's like what you guys are doing. It needs to happen. But this is like at Valentin's. I was there a couple weeks back, and they were having a barrel age release, and it was like such a throwback to the years gone by. It's like Val signing bottles, and he's having and I was like, oh, I remember that feeling of standing in line. I like and Murky's fun. Murky's like a chase, and it's also very creative. I know for Chris and I, it's like the whole like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before actual October 1st. It was a little hectic last year. Yeah. Because he's inputting with almost every brewery that hasn't done it the first time, and some breweries don't have never spent money on a designer, have never talked to a designer, and it's the win-win that happens. Well,
and that was the stigma that Tom and I were talking about. Is we were trying to, get the breweries to understand. Like, look, this guy who's doing the design work, he's not jumping for your wallet. He's trying to help you out, and that's the thing I don't want the brewers to think of is like, oh, this guy's won awards. He's a professional. There goes like $1,000. It's like, no, that's not my job. I'm like, I want to be compensated, of course. Everybody does, but ultimately my job is I'm trying to get you branded. I'm trying to get your identity, especially for this. It's like we want this whole, process to go nice and smooth for you. Mm-hmm. And when some of the brewers said, "Sure, I mean, we'll pay $100," is that what it normally is? I said, "Yeah, I mean, this isn't like Los Angeles or New York. You don't have to pay like $1,000 for a little logo,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that Tom had told me about was like, hey, look, we need to get them to understand too that like this relationship between breweries and designers. It's like we were in Tennessee for the Craft Beer Marketing Awards, and this guy approached Trailer and I. He was dressed up all nice and everything, and he's just like, hey, I sell hops. And right away I said, dude, yeah, right, man. Look at you, man. What do you want, like 10 grand for your hops from New Zealand? So that's the thing is we wanted everyone to get comfortable, relax, and say, hey, look, this is Chris. This is what he'll do for you. It's obviously discounted, but we're here more for the campaign of this. We just want it. And that was it. It was like icebreaker. Let's chill. So just chill, relax. We're not here to scoop a bunch of your money up and take your budget away. It's like we just want to make this fun for everybody.
Right. Absolutely.
So, yeah, and I was willing to do that. And Tom said, hey, could you do this for these breweries? Yeah, absolutely. It would be fun. It's more like a passion project. It's
right. That's what.
It's cool.
That's what I'm finding with a lot of this stuff was that like people just really are just passionate about what we're doing. That's
absolutely
what I love about this industry. I think that we kind of beat it over the head. I feel with a hammer, but like we all really love that about this industry. Just wanting to see each other, lift each other up. It's all about the community, man. That's beer is good. I love beer. That's what got me into it. But then seeing that side of it was kind of like what really gave me the chub.
Well, even when I do the paint nights, like I was at Senate Avenue before No Label, and Andrew was next to me, and I told Andrew, watch this. And I said, okay, so we're about to wrap this up. Who's never been here before? And like 10 hands went up. I said, who's going to come back here again, even if I'm not here? And they all raised their hands up. And I looked at Andrew, I said, that's what this is about.
Exactly.
It's about getting people here, building up a fan base, and just getting new faces in here, you know?
Absolutely, man.
I love that. It's all networking,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's one thing I've been doing. I got in my first brewing job was with Megaton, and I was had been in the industry serving, bartending for a long time. Got real nerdy about beer immediately. Was like, okay, I was really nerdy about the Houston beer. I wasn't so much of a whale chaser or like, I got to try what they're doing in Denver or what they're doing up in Oregon or some of the stuff. And I've had some great beers from those states, but I really was just more concerned about like the Houston market and like what was going on, and really thought that was cool. Sure. And got into Megaton. From there, I was at Ingenious for a little while. Ingenious, as we all know, closed, and so now I'm at Decca, and I love being at Decca. Love working with Cody. Love working with those guys. Love the team there. Like it's like a very tight knit, like a lot of breweries. There's a family presence there.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. I love that.
And and I felt bad because I dropped the ball. We had our anniversary party this past Saturday. And it was my job to hit you up to do photography, but you would have been out of town anyway, I think.
Oh yeah.
So, but I was I had.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, no, I had so much other stuff going on too. It was a great event. We had a great time. I kind of became the photographer for that day. So yeah, it was good. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Good stuff. Brandon has a refill. It looks hazy.
I could not come here and not get a delicious 281. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got one of these before.
Word.
Absolutely.
We are not right next to the bar. We're in the back offices here of No Label. There's a lot of loud live music going on.
Yeah.
It seems so much fun out
Fluorescent
there right
lighting. I think
Strobe light.
Tom's shirt kind of blends in with the background.
Yeah.
I love.
I do like the shirt though.
Yeah, the shirt's cool.
I need to see if I can get
Same
the
color as the
band
wall.
to play an extra hour. It's one of the small things I really enjoy is live music.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rocking.
No, and they're out there playing all the hits, man. They were playing like there were 3 songs in, and we're like, we're gonna play Purple Rain. I'm like, the fucking the audacity. Hell yeah, that's what's up. No, they've been killing it. They got a female and male singer.
You know, so I guess we're done talking about Murky.
We talked about Murky for a while.
We talked about Murky for a while.
I want to talk about medals and awards and trophies.
Medals and awards. Okay.
That was something I wanted to cover with Tom, was because you guys have a ton.
You have so many.
Yeah, and I will say I don't have a whole lot of knowledge on beer awards and beer like the World Beer Cup and.
He talked about it a little bit earlier, and he said the first year you didn't win so many, but you kept pushing and you kept going and you kept winning more and more and more.
Oh, on the Crushies, yeah.
The Crushies.
Well, it all happened around the same time.
Chris is very involved in the Crushie wins for you as well, huh?
He's definitely involved in a lot of the last 2 years, for sure. I mean, the Crushies kind of involves almost every part of the business. It's almost everything but the beer, like in some ways, because it's the only thing that. I mean, I think you guys know the craft beer industry is something that's like there's the liquid for sure.
Yeah.
But this is like everything but. It's like the taproom experience. It's the art. It's the names. It's the events. The
whole
like all that
brand and everything. Yeah.
Oh, it's your POS. It's your merchandise. It's everything but. But yeah, in 2021 we cleared our first 2 Crushing wins. The same year we won our first craft beer award for El Carlito in the U.S. Open bronze competition. I mean, one of the stigmas of, like, kind of with No Label, I've talked about this a lot before on many other places, is that No Label, it's had 4 brewers, and I could point to all those brewers on great beers like that they've made, and those brewers are like great people, but changing up your head brewer is like an inconsistency.
Right.
And it's no secret No Label had a bad kind of stigma in the market for a long time, and even though I disagreed with some of those criticisms, it's like how to fast forward the world to get onto the track that No Label is doing good. Competitions are a great way to do it. It's also a risky venture, costs a lot of money, and you're not always winning. In fact, really losing.
Yeah.
And you got to be really good at being a loser. So I was great at that.
Damn.
But then
But you said you were great at being a loser. You're not a loser. How many wins do you have now under your belt?
We
Did you
have
even know?
78 medals.
78?
We have 78 medals in the tap room right now.
Wow. They're all displayed.
They're all displayed.
Okay.
They're all displayed. You can go in there and count.
That's a lot of hard work. I can see it when I look at that. You put in the work to get those to be.
Were you driving a lot of that?
Everyone did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, your team put in a lot of work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Humble as always.
I knew it was a
it's not
team,
me,
but
it's-
I didn't know if you were the one kind of pushing
Yes.
for those awards.
Yes, I am the gambler of the group.
I do understand. No label is not one person. There's so
yeah,
many.
Right, of course.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I push for the competitions. I would love to do more. We're actually doing a few less this year because sometimes it doesn't make much sense. But I just want to. I'm like, let's play the game.
You like winning.
I like the thrill of winning.
I mean, just in general, not just winning the awards, just winning.
Sure, who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't? I'm sorry. Yes.
Like it feels good. I mean, on an objective sense, I don't. It's like, it's always like, how many awards do you want to win at this thing or whatever? It's like, first of all, oof, that question will curse you. But realistically, I just need one. I just want to be a part of the press release. I just want to be part of the party. I just want to walk away with something.
You're happy to be there.
Yeah, I'm happy to walk away with a medal. Right. I mean, I think that's the best for the brewery. And medals don't. I mean, they don't. You get a lot of pride, and there's the day of the win, but I don't.
How does it translate to sales?
Actually, yeah. I mean, the weekend of, maybe a boost.
Yeah.
But a few months later,
right.
It's. You go to your distributor, hey, we won a World Beer Cup Gold, best in the world. You going to sell some more? Well, actually, we're going to go less because it's so valuable. Like, oh, dang.
Oh, wow, I didn't think of that. Making it a hype thing, hey, we're going to draw it back. I mean, I get it.
They're just saying less.
Oh, okay.
It's not even like, so then who are you doing it for, right? And you're kind of doing it for your team. You're doing it for...
Right.
But it is like, I think like the way we have them displayed, a trick I picked up from Val. I went walking into Val's Tavern one
Which
day.
they have quite a bit.
They have quite a bit.
Well. Yeah.
And I was just like, look at all these medals on the wall. So I was like, I feel like this is good tourism. Like you want to, you walk into a brewery and like, do they have great beer? And if you can dismantle that conversation visually.
Yeah.
Right? Like someone just turns and they look. It's like, clearly, they must be doing something.
They have to be doing something
I don't know
right.
what it is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's cool.
And we proudly put those Crushy Awards right there because when we took over the brewery, I have a buddy, John Dedman, who I used to co-host Drink of Ages Radio with. He came here and he was like, "Hey, let's get a picture. I want to support. I want to show people that." I'm at No Label, I'm supporting my friend. And then he was like, shit, where did we take the picture? And I was like, we had like one sign on the stage. He's like, he's just like, it's like, you really, wherever you are, you really need to know that you're at the brewery. And like, I was like, and that is haunted, like,
man, that's
haunted me to this day. And like,
that's pretty, that makes a lot of sense.
And so, like, at every point, like, you walk in the staff room, right? Like, we have pictures of our beer art on the wall. We have
even in this room.
All of our, I mean, everywhere we have press wall, memorial wall, sticker wall, community plaque wall, all our labels. Like, everywhere you are, like, it should be identified.
I just want to say,
exactly
I've seen Rudy Cano's face here a few times, at least in a few different spots.
In the bathroom.
Maybe not the bathroom.
I don't know.
I haven't seen Rudy's face in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Artwork in the bathroom?
I'm trying to think. You got artwork in the bathroom?
I don't have. There's beer art in the women's restroom.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think.
You think?
I think no. It's Sylvia's partner. They sent out a picture for a spa day photo contest, and it's like him in a tub. Like
Wait. This is in the women's restroom?
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Oh, you know what? I was in the men's bathroom. And some guy looked up at the picture of George Costanza from Seinfeld.
Yeah, that's what we have in there. It's like,
that's what it is. And
Okay.
he looked up and he's like, ew. And I was like, and he was young, and I can immediately tell he didn't know what it was from. He had no idea. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like,
Just
it's just
some
a
weird
sign that I'm
bald man.
old now. He's like, I don't.
He's just some pedophile. No.
So as far as in the awards scene, is there anything you haven't won yet that you?
We've never won a GABF.
Okay.
We've won 2 World Beer Cups, which is great because there's outside of.
But you want that GABF?
Yeah, I really want 100 awards. I think, like, in my head, I want 100 because that's.
You'd be happy with 100.
Yeah, to say we have 100 awards. I also want to change up the way we have the awards. Kind of, I feel like at 100, at that point, it's like, all right, now you just have a bunch of medals on the shelves, and it's like really people need more context around these medals, and then that's when the most annoying group project's going to begin, where it's like, all right, let's take some of these medals off, put them in shadow boxes with pictures of the beer, so people can see.
Yeah, why not?
And then mosaic it around the brewery. I feel like the brewery should be like a church where you or the tap room. I mean, like that tap room building where you walk in and you're like, oh, look at all these. That's my vision.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna hit it until we hit 100.
Because
I feel like it will happen. I just don't know when.
Why 100?
I feel like that's
just
what sells
the
that
number?
capacity. I feel like we also we have a finite amount of space.
Yeah.
But I would love to kind of tell the tale of all those beers. I think that's the hard part because a bunch of medals on the wall it's kind of like, does it do the beer justice? Like, because it's like, what's that beer for? It's like,
right.
You talked about a minute ago about in any room you're in at New Label, you're at No Label. I feel like you can tell the tale of those beers just walking around in this place. I've just shown up here a couple times when there's nobody here before this place really even opened, and there's so much history here, and I love it. I all the way from, I think you still have a sign over there, the Darnell.
Darnell,
Yeah, beer over there.
Oh.
Yeah. That's super cool.
And just looking at the artwork behind you, with it looks like Chris did most of that.
These are all.
These are all Chris. Okay.
And even the sketches are on the wall over here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I mean, it's a celebration of, man, the people, community, all of it. You know, like it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing stuff, and the stuff we were able to do, and who we're able to do that stuff with, and it's fun. It's stressful sometimes, but fun. Fun industry,
especially in this turbulent, like sort of economic time that we're in. It's just it does not make things better.
You gotten to meet some cool people in the scene too. I saw a picture with you and the guys from Supernatural.
Oh
yeah, Jensen.
Now, I guess they own a brewery as well.
Yeah, he owns family business over in was Dripping Springs, but they're working on a location closer to Austin. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you met anybody else cool like that in the scene?
I don't know. I mean, everyone's cool.
Yeah.
You
met Matthew McConaughey. He's got the McConaughey's now.
I don't think he's actually connected to that.
Oh, okay.
I think he's let them roll.
Oh, okay, okay.
As far as I understand it.
Right. Yeah, I think that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I don't think he
but
backed any of that
was
up.
cool enough to just kind of let him do it.
Yeah.
The guy who met Andy Griffith, that was fun.
Before we end the podcast, I feel like we have to talk a little bit more in extent about Drink of the Ages and the podcast that you did with John Denman for a while.
Okay.
So, can we talk about the beginning of that and what led to that?
Is there any way you guys can, Chris, tell them a story for like 5 minutes? I just need to run and.
Let's talk to Chris for 5 minutes.
I need to see if I can get this band to extend one more hour.
Okay.
They haven't responded yet.
Well, I sent a message to.
Tom is busy doing. He's a busy guy. He's doing all this stuff. But let's talk about Chris, and then we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, Chris.
All right.
I'm gonna get the camera on you. Off the top of your head, do you have any questions for Chris?
I mean, no, I can't really say I have any questions. I off the top of my head, I could probably think of something.
I have questions for. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you were kind of involved in the brewery scene in California before.
I was. Yep.
Yeah. So what led to you making the decision to transfer over here? And tell me about your beginnings over there, And then what led to you coming here?
So, I wasn't in the brewing industry originally. Mm-hmm. I self-published 2 children's books with my wife.
Oh, I own it. One.
Yeah,
I own the one with the zombies.
shit, really?
And so I just got out of art school. I got out of college, and I, as an illustration and graphic design major, and I said I want to go to Comic-Con, which I ended up doing. We self-published 2 children's books, went to Comic-Con, and became exhibitors at Comic-Con, and we had our regular booth at Comic-Con in San Diego.
That's awesome.
That's
hard to get in.
It's really hard. And
what are these kids'
list.
books called? What are they called?
Jack and the Zombie Attack and Jack and the Pirate Attack.
I have the Zombie Attack book. He signed it for my children.
That's really cool, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. I'll bring you a copy.
Okay, word. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I remember. Do you remember the band Real Big Fish?
Yes.
Okay, so those guys are friends of mine back in the day. I used to go to all their shows. I was good friends with their manager.
Kind of a jam band, right?
Yeah. Ska band, you know. And so one day their manager called me up and he said, hey, I'm investing, because he's always investing in everything. I'm investing in something that's blowing up right now. This is 2013. I said, what's that? He said, Breweries. I said, Breweries? He's like, yeah, I mean, up until then, I mean, my craft beer that I thought I'd put my pinky up to was like Newcastle. It's like, ooh, I got a pack of Newcastle, man.
Yeah.
And like that was cool back then.
Yeah, imports were cool though.
And that was it. That was basically, I mean, if you got some Belgian beers that you were kind of like sophisticated, you were a craft beer.
I definitely was that geek. I was that dude. I was like, I'm drinking a Chimay, bitch.
Yes.
What do you think you are?
I just drank them too.
Yeah.
And so he said, he called me one day, and I remember he called me and said, hey, I got an idea for a beer label. And I'm like, this guy's messing with me. I was taking a nap, and he woke me up, and he's just like, hey, I got this idea for a beer. And I heard everyone laughing in the background. I said, he's totally fucking with me because he's just being an ass, you know. Yeah, we want a zombie pirate on a like Zeppelin balloon, and in the background it's like the end of the world with dinosaurs getting destroyed and meteors. And he was laughing, and I said, hey man, look, I really gotta go, I'm busy, dude. And I hung up on him. Mm-hmm. And he called me back and he's like, hey look, no, seriously, I'm working with the brewer here, and he's making a beer with golden raisins, star anise, and it's gonna be called Raisin Hell, and we want this background, we want this to be like this. And I said, okay. He goes, well, what would you charge? I said, I'll charge you this much. And I said, but I'll tell you what, if you are messing with me, that's a very expensive joke. He's like, no, I swear to God, man, like, we want to make this beer. And then after I made that label for them, they brought it to life. They canned it. They were selling it in Riverside, California.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, a week later, unfortunately, 2 police officers were killed on the line of duty. There was a rogue LAPD officer who went out and killed a Riverside cop, Michael Crane. Mm-hmm. And then what happened is all these San Bernardino sheriffs went up to Big Bear. It was a big manhunt. And they caught him in a cabin, and in the process, a San Bernardino sheriff was killed, Jeremiah McKay. And they said, hey, look, we want you to make these 2 beer labels. This is a complete new brewery and nothing to do with this guy. And I said, sure, I could do that. And I did that. I was in the press enterprise for Riverside. The Channel 7 News came to my house, and after that, I've just been in the brewing industry since then. I ended up doing a beer label for a big brewery in Southern California called Hangar 24. And Hangar 24 is in Redlands, and I made a beer label for them, and after that, it was just, I was the guy after that.
Right, yeah.
And then people would interview me, they're like, so what's it like being a beer label artist? I said, I don't want to be a beer label artist. I want to make children's books and comic books. But they said, but no, this is what you're meant to do. And I said, I know, but I don't want to do this a lot. It's fun, but I want to go to Comic-Con every year and do all these things.
Yeah.
But I end up, going to some really neat places, meeting great people.
Did you fall in love with the industry?
Absolutely. 100%, man.
Yeah.
And I just said, it was so fun. I remember I knew nothing about brewing beer. But I remember the brewers inviting me, hey, we're brewing on Sunday. You want to come and hang out? And I just remember pulling up and opening up my door and going, oh my God, it smelled so good. You could just smell, the cook.
Yeah.
They're making the cook, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it smells so good. And
yeah.
And eventually they were like, hey, look, we brought a bunch of craft beers. And I said, well, tell you what, I'm going to bring some barbecue, which I love the barbecue. you bring the craft beers. And it was just a day thing. I'd bring barbecue, and we would just drink craft beer from all over the United States.
Yeah.
And Belgium, too. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's, long story short, that's history right there.
That's what. Yeah, I love it. That's what people a lot of times when they talk about how they got into beer. It's all those
Did you
things.
see an opportunity in the Houston craft beer scene? Is that why you invaded us?
I came here to take away your jobs like a real Californian and to screw up and, vote blue like we always do in California.
Damn, liberals!
Get out of here.
Take our jobs!
So after COVID hit, everything started slowing down in California. And, I've been coming to Texas since I was a kid. And my family is all from San Antonio. In fact, I have a big history here in Texas. My great-great-uncle was the first Texan to receive the Medal of Honor. He was the first Hispanic to receive the Medal of Honor. He was one of 5 people to lay in state at the Alamo after he died in World War I. So I've been coming to San Antonio since I was a kid. So my dad's from here, my grandparents. I have a lot of family here in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just, my wife was like, I need a change. I hate California. I'm sick of it. I love our friend. I do. I miss my friends out there and some of my family.
Miss that weather.
I miss the weather so much.
Man,
I miss
that
not getting bit by
fucking
mosquitoes.
the weather's so
fucking
amazing. We get 2 weeks
They
of
leave
it. That's
me
it.
alone.
2 weeks.
That's
2 weeks.
it.
And if you and you only way you can enjoy it is if you're not sick, which everyone half the people are.
That's it.
I was so fortunate that we had the 2 week period at the beginning of March. That little 2 weeks where it's like you can roll your windows down and drive around. It's so nice.
I know.
You get 2 here and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. But
you know what? I ended up coming here and I told her, I said, hey, I want to come here because everyone's like, you should go to Austin. They have a lot of great art. I said, no, I was in Austin. I don't like Austin. I mean, Austin's cool to visit, but, well, you should go to Dallas. No, I don't want to go up there. They got a bunch of tornadoes. And then I was reading before I moved that Houston is the art hub of Texas. And there was a ton of craft breweries out here. And I said, I miss the craft brewing industry. I might do something like that. It'd be fun.
yeah, it's funny because from outside looking in, I can see a lot of people thinking Austin's the spot for art, right? But I feel like there's just it's just different, man. I don't want to talk down. I love Austin, so I don't want to talk down on it. It's just not what it used to be, and I think it's just not the same anymore. It lost some of its.
There are some
character.
breweries in Austin that I have love for. St. Elmo's, what is it? St. Elmo Brewing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
I haven't
great.
visited them. I should.
No, they're great.
I need to go back. I haven't been to Austin in a while.
I always have a great time every time I go to.
Been to San Antonio. I love San Antonio. I will say it's sad because San Antonio doesn't have a great brewery scene.
I don't think they do.
Weathered Souls, rest
Every
in peace.
brewery I like that San Antonio is closed.
Weathered Souls was probably their best bet, and it was on the way north side of town. And really, I mean, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. This is just how I feel, and I feel like a lot of people feel this way. Weathered Souls really just did really well with their stouts and their barrel age program. They were not,
Hot takes.
they weren't. Yeah, this is it, man. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
That was their lane, was the stouts. And how are you going to be a stout brewery in San Antonio, Texas?
I know.
Like, that's tough, man.
Chris,
It is tough.
while we're waiting for Tom to get back, we're going
Even
to talk
though-
about Drinking the Ages in a minute.
Yeah.
Top 5 breweries in Houston.
Ooh. Top 5 brewers in Houston? God, that's tough. That's tough.
I know. It's a tough question. We've
Take
been
your
in
time, think about it.
It's like, what's your favorite action movie?
I know. You don't have to do it in any order. That's the key here. So you don't have to give. Some people have.
Okay.
What's hard for me is that those things change over time.
They do. It has. It's really right now. The Chris.
Yeah, it's
that's
right
in front
now.
of us
I agree
right
with
now.
him. I will say, like at one point years ago, when I really started, like when I first started working at Megaton, when I really felt like I was like, I'm full. I didn't just dip my toes. I'm like, I'm in the industry.
Yeah.
B52 out in Conroe was my jam. That was my favorite brewery in the Houston area. Even though they're not Houston, they were. I still considered them my favorite brewery in the area.
Can you give us one?
That's changed.
Right
I'll give
now.
you one, but I'm like,
I'm going to pull them out of you one at a time. So give me the first one.
I mean, because if I don't say
Top
the
5
right
breweries,
one, they're
Tom,
gonna be like,
in
we
Houston
don't want
from
Chris Hernandez doing
Chris
our artwork
Hernandez.
for Month of Murky. He didn't.
That's
give
why
a
he loves this.
shout-out.
No. It's not like that. It's not like that.
No. It's I don't think anybody thinks of it like that.
Top 5. Here we go.
Not any order.
Valentin's. Megaton.
I
love Megaton's beer, man.
Appreciate that.
No label, of course.
No label.
I mean, this is my home.
Valentin's, Megaton, no label.
God, who else? I'm just trying to think. There's so many that are like...
It's hard, man.
Top 5 breweries in Houston for Chris
Greater
Hernandez.
Houston area.
Yeah. God. I like New Magnolia, too.
New
I do too.
Magnolia. Is that
Shane
making
I do
top
too.
5?
They're one of my favorites.
Okay.
I do like New Magnolia.
I need one more to finish the list.
Now, and I'm naming this because they were one of my favorite Murkies. Deca.
Thanks.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because you're here. I don't give a fuck.
All,
Like,
sure,
all
you
three
shouldn't,
of us made the
but
list.
You shouldn't give a
Woo.
I remember going up to Cody saying, bro,
He nailed it.
Murky.
And what's funny is Cody does
No, it
not
was-
like
it was good.
overly. He likes a softer any IPA.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. So he likes. He's like.
Solid list,
He
Chris.
gave me the sample. He's like, "You're gonna love this," and I was just like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "It's a little green," and I'm like, "It's a little green, but I likes
Yeah.
it." It's yummy.
Nah, make
But
it
then
fun,
it
man.
mellowed out and it was great.
Oh, yeah.
Hound Song made a great one. I had a really good one from. It wasn't just Hound Song. I really liked Hound Songs.
You know
I
which
had
one
theirs-
really
I
surprised
had theirs
me?
at Huey's.
We were talking about the Murkies, right?
Yeah.
Turkey Forest, man.
Louis
Yeah,
did a good
no,
one.
Turkey
Oh
Forest.
my
Is,
God.
yeah, that was the one. Yeah,
That was the one
That was a good
blew
one.
my mind.
I liked it. Yeah,
Definitely, and I always say my favorite Murky out of
And
the,
you know what I love about
Yeah.
Turkey Forest? They're my Los Angeles homies, man.
Yeah?
yeah. You had all of them, so I can't. I don't. I didn't
did
have,
have
all
all
of them.
of them.
Yeah.
I think out of the few that I had, I think Hound Song had my favorite.
Hound Songs was great.
Yeah.
They make great, but Travis and Raven Brews, yeah.
New Magnolias was really good too.
No. So
Yeah.
she cooks great food. And she loves my artwork too. I love that. But at Megaton, man, Jared and Shane, they like God.
Yeah.
So my son Jack, he loves Megaton beer.
Yeah.
And he loves that he's in Texas, so he can drink a little bit of beer out there. Because, you know, we have Texas state laws out here, but Jack loves the beer at Megaton. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
We'll go places. I'm like, here, you want this? He's like, take a sip. It's not good. But anytime I do a paint night, he's hanging out. He's like, Dad, can I have some of your beer? And I look at Shane. Shane, is that cool? He goes, hey, we're in Texas. As long as you hand it to your boy.
Right.
Well, he'll just take little sips, but
Yeah.
he loves flavors.
Yeah.
And he loves the beer at Megaton.
That's cool,
so.
man. That's awesome.
So we have been going for 2 hours and 13 minutes. But I do want to talk about Drink of the Ages before we shut it down a little bit. So I asked you earlier, how did Drink of the Ages start? How did it become? What was the beginning of Drink of the Ages like?
So that question, I'm really not equipped to answer.
What was your
fully
beginnings
on.
of Drink of
John,
the Ages?
that was John Denman's.
Yeah,
Who's John Dimon?
Because John,
We want to talk to John Dimon eventually.
Oh yeah.
he's a great one of my closest friends.
He's
He's
a
in
great
town
guy.
actually
Oh,
right
I
now
love-
too.
I love John.
He's in town for Easter weekend.
I love John.
Is he?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I meet him up tomorrow.
yeah.
He's.
You know what I want to do? I really want to do, and I was talking to Casey about this. I would love to do a Beer Someone Drink of the Ages podcast.
I would.
There you go.
I would. I would love that. I listen to Drink of
Yeah,
Ages
back and forth. Just
back
Beer
in the day
Someone
when it
Drink of
was
the Ages.
when it was a thing, and I visited the bar.
There's no Beer Someone if there's no Drink of the Ages.
I listened to that podcast. I would listen to it on my SoundCloud because I usually didn't have time to listen to it live. So I had to always do the SoundCloud. But, man, I really enjoyed the podcast. I listened to a ton of them.
So it was like Drink of Ages year 7, probably around COVID time. Like John and I had become friends through adventures. Like we just hit it off. Like it's just like sometimes you meet someone and you just kind of like we're like sense of
Right.
yeah, just like and
Really
it's weird,
connect.
especially as an adult. Like like when I met
It's harder to have
when I
that.
met yeah, but when it happens, like with Chris, everybody like. But it's not like I'm in the friends business where I'm looking for new friends. Like,
Right,
But
yeah.
but when it happens, you're like, look at this. This is nice.
Right.
But Demon, him and I clicked on great, but during COVID, basically he was kind of gonna end. He was gonna end the show because he was like, I don't know what to do, maybe. And I was like, dude, you're like, fucking, you're at year 7-ish. It's like you need to go to year 10. You need to you're so close and all this. And he's like, it's just, but it's hard to do it alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's like, and I was like, you got Muskrats? It's like, Muskrats does the audio, and I love that guy, but it's like, it's really kind of like, I'm in there. It's like, well, then find a friend. It's like, I understand that. I used to freelance. I get it. Like, you're kind of visiting people with families, and then you go home to something that's like, you're like, that drive home is, sad.
Right.
Or especially when there's so much people and activity. But I was like, John, well, find yourself a good friend, co-host, have him co-host and like stuff like that. And like that will take, like, it will make things easier because you'll have a compatriot to bitch about when things go south and when the cameras don't work, when the mic starts so it just won't be you.
Oh, we're learning, yeah.
It'll make things easier. It's like, you're right. And I was like, all right, just find a person. I know him. Great. Well, who do you got? Drink of Ages. I was like, no, John, I don't want to go down a no money rabbit hole. Like, how dare you? I thought we were friends. I hate you. Why would I want to do this? You sack of shit. But then, of course, I said yes. And we closed out those 10 years. And it was a fun. I mean, it was work. I keep on telling people
this is work. We're realizing very quickly that this is work.
People would be like, oh, you show up, you drink beers, and yada yada yada, and it's like, listen, if it's on the calendar, it's work. If you have to show up across town, we were like, one week could be Backview, the next week be Galveston Island.
We had to push this one back late because I had to go hang out. My family always does something on Good Friday, and I can't.
Because he's Jesus.
I can't miss out on it.
Yeah.
Beer Jesus.
No, but I just couldn't miss out on it. So I really appreciate you being able to move your schedule around just for me to be able to hang out with my fam. So
I mean, every commitment's a commitment. Yeah, and it's work. Yeah, it might be fun, but it's still
still some work.
It's still work. I was like, I feel like work is because when people, I'm sure it applies to everyone here in this room, right? Like because we work around beer, but ultimately, listen, if you have to be someplace, that is work. If you are tethered to a location and you don't have the freedom to, freedom is doing whatever you want. If you have to be at this place, just because
every day,
or just because it's less stress or more, it's still it is what it is.
I have a Casey calendar in my notes because of this.
But the Drink of Ages time was, I would say, it was like going on first dates every week. It was kind of fun.
Is that how you met a lot of people in the industry for the first time?
No. I had.
You already knew them.
I knew a lot of those people. However. Drink of Ages definitely accelerated that. It's funny. So John, at the end of it, John and I, a few times hanging out, and he was like, "Oh, this helped introduce you to a lot of people." And I was like, "Well, no, John. I mean, as long as these people I already knew through stuff within the guild or meetups or stuff like that." It's like, however, there was a huge benefit, and that was going into a cold, a 1 to 2 hour cold conversation with someone every week. We did 50 shows a year. We did that for 3 years.
That's crazy.
And
how many episodes?
I did 140 something.
140 something.
That's once a week is.
Wow. But it was that's a great skill. It was just like. I remember being nervous, or the anxiety about how do I fill the conversation, how do you let the thing flow, how do you shut up,
Right. That's what
We're learning that. We were talking
learning
about
that
the
too.
way
We got a little silly with Sylvia, and we were both talking about it on the way here. Like, yeah, it was just because we were drinking so quickly. We were trying so many beers.
She gave
and all
us
of
a
sudden,
lot of beer at once.
He cut me off just like you did, like
I did in that episode.
Just then, a lot.
We cut
but we
each other
did
off
it to each other. So,
yeah.
Well, it's like, well, sometimes the fun times don't exactly translate to like a good. Yeah, it's a balance, right? But like, But I think the skill of just like, hey, I don't know where this conversation is going to go. It is kind of, but it is like it's semi-intimate, like because you're talking about stuff that you're focused in, long-form conversation. It's great. During that time, I was really great at dating.
Yeah. I think for us, what helps is that we're actually, I think you guys were too. I'm not saying you weren't, but I'm just saying like being interested in the topic that we're talking about really helps. And I think that helps guide you guys, I'm sure too, is you're interested in what you're discussing. So that kind of, you can keep going with it.
It was fun. It was a lot of work. And then it was weird because once it was like, it was a burden. And sometimes
I'm sure,
but then when it was gone, that is like it's like a kid moving out of your house.
Dude, that's like me being in a band. You're describing what I felt whenever I was in a band, and then it became a burden, and then I quit, and then I'm kind of like, I miss it.
Yeah, part of me. Yeah,
Casey, we are a band.
Yeah, we're a band. We're a duo.
I think you guys are balancing it out, right? I mean, because it needs to, like, because you guys are committed to what's it every
2 weeks.
Every other
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
we have to sell beer for Megaton and Decca.
Yeah, no. I would love to.
They're our first objective.
And consistency is important.
But I also, when he approached me with that every other week, I was like, oh, thank you. That just kind of airs it out.
Like,
a
we
little
couldn't
bit.
do it every
You can kind of air it out. Yeah, I just couldn't do it.
And it's easier to double up. So John and I, every once in a while, we would double up. Be like, next week is something, and like we need to, like we would do repeat episodes, air them every once in a while, but we would try to not do that.
Yeah.
Especially early on, there's no way. But we were like, hey, let's do a double up. And I was like, we're gonna do this Tuesday and this Wednesday. I was like, oh my god. I was just like, oh, how about we not?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then it's I don't know. It's very strange because.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, I mean, at times, I look back at it very fondly.
Yeah,
and I would love to do some sort of podcast function here for the brewery or something.
Yeah, you thinking about a no label podcast?
But the problem is you would have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, consistency is the hard thing.
It's a lot of work.
It's like once you start to it, you have to commit to it, and you have to.
Right.
Like, I would love to do something at the brewery where, like, every 2 weeks, we sit and talk with the brewer for 30 minutes about beer, and then I talk to an account about, I thought about this stuff. It's like, and I know I could do the one, but could I do so? We're partners at Blood Brothers Barbecue, and amazing. We've been in Texas Monthly Top 50, and Quee, our pitmaster, he's got a Michelin star, fucking amazing. And he has said, it's like, man, anyone can make, if you really put your time and effort into it, anyone can make a good rack of ribs. But can you make a good rack of ribs, like 50 of them in a row every day?
Yeah.
It's like the key to this game is consistency.
Right.
And don't start something you can't,
Yeah.
You told me that a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago, when I came up and I hung out with you, and we were talking about the podcast, and you gave me some good advice. And yes, me and Casey do have a bunch of these scheduled out. And the great part is people are starting to hit us up. They want to do the podcast, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunities. We got a couple of them booked ahead of time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see it grow.
Yeah. And
I was really excited just to have, because we have had some bangers on, and having you on, it's been really, really cool.
This has been really cool. Any other questions about Drink of the Ages?
I mean, I don't know. I definitely like the idea of us getting together with John at some point, man. I know he's He's living in Florida now.
Yeah, he's in town. He's in town at least once a month.
Yeah,
but it's possible.
I feel like it's possible.
I would say book something around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah. I got to know John a little bit when I worked at Megaton. He's homies with Jared, and that's where I met him. And I was already
he's homies with a lot of people.
I was already and I was already already listening to Drinking Ages. So I was just like, to me, he was somewhat of a small town celebrity, and I was just like, "Ooh, what's up, man? I want to be your homie." And then Spindle Tap, he was with them for a little while, and super cool dude.
He's a good dude. We share birthdays, which is.
Do you?
So his is the 13th, mine's the 14th. So
that's right.
So every year we align our celebrations together. His wife hates it. Kelly is always like, we do this trade-off every year, and sometimes it's in New York, sometimes it's in Ashland, sometimes it's here. Like we align everything together.
That's awesome.
And we stay up to we have a passing baton moment that happens when midnight hits on the 14th. So 13th, and so we do a last shot at the end of John's birthday. We do a first shot at the end, and Kelly, his wife, is like, "Oh, every year with this." It's like, Kelly.
Oh my god!
like yes.
You guys don't post videos of this stuff?
There are videos out there.
Yeah,
but
it's hilarious.
This year was pretty rough because John's tolerance has gone down a little bit since he's been in Florida. He's been out of the scene a little bit. So he was a little I was like, I don't know if you're gonna make it to midnight. He's like, John's like, I'm gonna make it. But John's an amazing, happy, good human being.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and he knows a lot of people. He sees through a lot of bullshit. And there's a lot of bullshit in this industry too.
Yeah, there is for sure.
But he's a gem. He's a gem.
Mm-hmm. No, great guy.
I was.
Never had a bad experience with him.
Yeah, I know. Love it, dude. Yeah, man, it's been fun. Good times.
Yeah, I guess we're at the end of this thing.
Are we doing it? Are we ending?
I think we are. What do you think?
Yeah, we need to go outside. There's people out there. There's life.
There's live music,
and there's other conversations to be had.
Does the band stand later?
I know we asked them. I didn't get the answer because I ran in here.
Right, so they're on break right now, so
we're
I'll be the band, dude.
We're about to be at 2 hours and 30 minutes, which
go out there and play a few tunes.
We did 2 hours and 10 minutes with Sylvia.
You're on your way. You're on your way to some Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we're on some long one. This was fun though. Can we do another one in the future?
Yeah, we can do it in November or maybe around Murky.
I would. Can we do one with Murky? But I want John on it. I want to do a Beer Someone a Drink of the Ages podcast.
That would be good.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be good.
Before we do let you go, Casey, one more question I had. So I missed. I didn't listen to it because I didn't want to take any of the questions that they had. But I know you did the hot tub podcast.
Yeah.
Which I was listening to that. Yeah.
I know Casey listened.
I've been listening to them a little bit. Yeah.
We listen to every podcast here in Houston.
I think not a lot of them.
There's not a lot, so yeah, it's
well, not a lot, but there's a couple. What's on tap?
They're all interesting.
Draft Queens, and I'm just talking about
what's on tap and all that. Yeah, which I haven't dug as much into them.
Hot tub beer.
Drink of Ages was my go-to.
I mean, I think the Drink of Ages for what we were doing back then was closer to like what you guys are doing now.
Yeah,
which is what's on tap is great, but what's on tap, they don't spend a lot of time on the local market. Not a lot of like hot tub, like those guys do, which I've seen a lot of podcasts start and stop. And,
they've been pretty consistent. They've been around for
they took a little bit.
No, but I've seen there's a great one. This guy at Texas Tap Rooms.
Okay.
You can find him on Spotify, and he has maybe 18 episodes.
Yeah.
Great because he knew nothing about craft beer. And it's almost to his benefit because he was like a sponge. He was like, so what is this glass? And what is this thing? And what is this? And there's something that was so refreshing about that because he was kind of like...
He was the people's gateway into it.
Yeah, no inside. And then he got caught up in it, and then all of a sudden it just dropped off.
Yeah.
And And he put up a post at one point of like, oh, we're gonna get back to it. But that never happened. And it's unfortunate. But it is hard again because you guys have personal lives, jobs, and where does this? I feel like every other week is you can find a way to make that schedule.
Yeah,
we're making it happen.
Yeah.
And we're loving doing it.
Yeah. We did one far away 2 weeks ago at Saloon Door West, which was far from my house. This one was a bit far for me too. So I mean, I think from now on we could probably hone it in a little better, maybe.
Yeah, I know we just booked one with Leo in the future at Galveston.
And you want to do which he's my neighbor.
Leo lives in Kingwood.
Leo Longoria is my.
But I said we're not doing a podcast. Oh, no, I wanted to do it at Galveston.
Live 5 minutes from each other, but yeah, we wants to do it, which I totally get it. I love, and they have just Galveston Island just posted that they redid their whole interior, their tap room and all that. They painted and did all this stuff.
We can shut it off now. I just wanted to cheers all y'all.
No, Galveston Island's.
Cheers, guys. It's been fun.
Cheers.
It's been so much fun, guys. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, Chris, for coming on. Thank you, Tom, for coming on. Casey, you're amazing as always. Check out the Beer Someone podcast. Next week, we're going to be, or the next 2 weeks, we're going to be talking with Adam from Premium Draft. Y'all have a great one, guys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Hell yeah.